Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5:30.
Storms are brewing in parts of North Dakota, and that could mean a number of things if they turn severe later tonight. We're talking hail, strong winds, and a chance of tornadoes. Let's send it right over to meteorologist Justin Fanfarilli to find out what's happening now in our area. Justin?
And thank you, Christine, and good evening, everybody. First off, we have a severe thunderstorm watch issued for portions of our viewing area north of I-94 and to the west of I-29. This is in effect through midnight. Let's take a look at what's going on right now. We have non-severe thunderstorms as you make your way into Roseau, Marshall, and just leaving Kittson County right now. This is not the severe weather we're looking at, but you might see some brief heavy rain, some lightning here. And we have some moving through Pembina County, entering Kittson County right now with some lightning. But we are tracking some severe weather as you make your way just off to the east of the Minot area, just off to the northeast of the Wilton and Bismarck area. And we have reports of 1 to 2 inch hail from these storms. They are just on the fringe of our viewing area. So if you're living in portions of western Benson County, be prepared. You might see some severe weather next. We also have this storm out here in Canada that is looking to approach the Langdon area and enter portions of Towner and Cavalier County. So that is what we're looking at right now. Pretty warm air out there. Temperatures well into the 90s in most places, and we're going to watch those storms move through as we make our way through this evening, as it does stay mild with temperatures into the 80s. We'll have much more on what we expect for tonight and for the rest of the next 7 days coming up in full weather later in the newscast.
All right, thank you, Justin. Investigators in West Fargo are working.
And both those thunderstorms we've been watching have gone severe. We have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for Cavalier, Towner, and for Benson County until 6:30 p.m. We have an observed tornado out west and also tennis ball-sized hail out west. That's moving into our viewing area. We'll have the full update coming up next. And welcome back. We're watching severe weather move into our viewing area. First off, we have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect through midnight from Stutzman, Barnes, and Cass County points north, and from the Red River points off to the west. Now, here's what we're looking at right now. We have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. First, let's take a look at this one moving into Cavalier and Towner County. Both of those counties are in a severe thunderstorm warning. This storm is capable of producing 60-mile-per-hour winds and inch hail. Let's put a track on this one. It's moving off to the southeast around 40 miles per hour. So if you live in any of these areas, including Calvin, Wales, West Hope, and the Milton area over the next hour, definitely prepare for severe thunderstorm winds and hail. We also have another severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for portions of western Benson County, also in effect until 6:30 p.m. We're going to put a track on this one. This one's moving northeast at around 40 miles per hour. And in the next hour, it will be in the Silva area, Harlow, Leeds, and the Niles area by around 6:33. Let's take a look at the other storms that are working their way just off to our western viewing area. This one just off to the south of Bottineau. We had an observed tornado with this one, and also we're tracking a storm just off to the north and to the east of the Bismarck area. And we've gotten reports of tennis ball-sized hail. As you can see here with the red on the map, tennis ball-sized hail near the McCluskey area. Now, zooming out, this activity looks to move into our viewing area over the next few hours, and it should last for a little while. Now, we do have this low-pressure system. It's working its way through. We have that warm front. That's why we're so warm out there today. We got that nice southerly flow, and we do have a good amount of moisture to work with, and behind it, cool air, and we're getting severe weather where the air masses meet. Current conditions out there, the Valley News Live Storm Team Skycam network shot in Fargo. Fargo, not that bad right now. We are seeing mainly clear skies, but it is hot at 91 degrees. Moorhead at 88. The wind has picked up southeast at 21, gusting to 29. And Grand Forks is holding at 86 degrees with partly cloudy skies and breezy to windy conditions. Warmest air down just to the south of I-94, lower to mid-90s. Langdon at 70. 72 degrees, Devil's Lake at 83, and mainly into the 80s as you make your way out into Lakes Country, with areas in Minnesota north to the Canadian border into the mid to upper 70s. And we are tracking some areas, especially out toward Valley City, Carrington, 60-degree dew points. That's where the moisture is, and that's where we will be watching for severe weather over the next couple of hours. And we have that nice, strong southerly flow with the breezy to windy conditions that will definitely also help to fuel those storms. As we track it through time, we're tracking this line of storms making it to the Red River Valley by around the 10 p.m. hour, according to this model, then moving through. And we're also going to track a second round of severe weather. This is at 4 a.m. and this will be into the Devil's Lake Basin, moving into the Northern Valley by later on into the morning and then dissipating. And then for the day on Saturday, not bad out there. Temperatures into the Southern Valley into the upper 80s, and we should see mainly clear skies by around 5 p.m. Fargo area forecast shows that we've got partly cloudy skies, high of 87 as we go through the day tomorrow. And tomorrow afternoon, temperatures into the upper 80s south of I-94 and some 70s. You make your way from Thief River Falls to Devil's Lake. Let's take a look at that extended forecast. And going into the day on Sunday, we have a chance of some showers and thunderstorms mainly into the morning, early afternoon, then clearing later in the day. 83 your high, mostly clear on Monday, 88, 88 on Tuesday, 81 Wednesday. Another chance for some showers and thunderstorms, watching for the severe potential. And then for Thursday and Friday, upper 70s, and we have just that slight chance of some showers, and the end of the week looks pretty good.
But for now, we're going to keep our eye off to the west and make sure that everything's going smoothly.
Yep, and we will definitely be here all night.
Okay, thank you. What IKEA is doing to...
And we have a severe thunderstorm warning still in effect until 6:30 for Cavalier County, up to 70-mile-per-hour winds. So if you're in the Wales area, West Hope, or Langdon area, definitely be prepared for this one. Also, 1-inch hail is possible. Also a severe thunderstorm warning into portions of western Benson County, also until 6:30. 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail possible with this one. And looking off to the west, even more of this stuff, and we'll definitely be here all night tracking it for you.
Yeah, we've got you, we've got Robert, we've got Eric Whitehill out there too.
Yep, he's on the way.
All right, well, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you over on KVLY.
The wind may be blowing in some stormy weather later tonight, depending on where you live in the valley. Robert, what's the latest?
Yeah, already seeing some stormy weather, some severe storms popping up in the region. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect along and west of I-29, along and north of I-94. That goes through midnight. And as mentioned, already seeing some severe thunderstorms out there. We were talking about this at the 5 o'clock hour. This storm making its way now out of southern Canada into our northern valley. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for Cavalier County until 6:30 this evening for the possibility of 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts as it continues to move off toward the southeast at 40 miles per hour. Another storm making its way in through northwestern Benson County. This one moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. This capable of some quarter-sized hail and some 60-mile-per-hour winds. Some more storms off towards the west, severe just west of our region, and we'll continue to monitor those as we head through the evening. A lot of heat out there, and it's sparking off those severe storms. That severe storm risk continues through the evening hours. As mentioned, that severe thunderstorm watch through midnight. Could see another round of severe thunderstorms redevelop late tonight, early tomorrow morning through the 4, 5, 6 o'clock hours, and we'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you so much, Robert. And be sure to download the Valley News.
Thanks for staying with us. Taking a live look outside on the Corwinauto.com Valley Skycam, part of the Storm Team Skycam network. Lots of sunshine, warm temperatures here in Fargo. It's quiet here. Not so quiet elsewhere across the region. We'll take a radar tour here in just a moment. 90 degrees, winds out of the southeast, still on the strong side, over 20 miles per hour, gusting over 30 miles per hour. A lot of heat, especially in the southern valley, but cooler off towards the east and north. Some 70s to the north, 70s to the east. We have some winds out there, and those winds feeding these storms that continue to slide off towards the southeast in some locations, northeast in others. A lot of thunderstorms blossoming, and there they are, just exploding out in central portions of North Dakota. There's the severe thunderstorm watch. This effect until midnight includes Jamestown, Fargo, and Grand Forks, Devil's Lake Basin. Let's get right to it. You've got this storm moving off towards the southeast, and you see this little notch right here. Tornado is possible with this storm. Starting to see some rotation with this particular storm, in addition to the threat of some very strong winds, winds of up to 70 miles per hour and possibly even hail the size of quarters or even a little bit larger as this continues to slide off toward the southeast at 40 miles per hour. We'll continue to monitor that storm as it makes its way through Cavalier County. Another warning for northwestern Benson County. This storm moving off towards the northeast at around 40 miles per hour. Some 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail possible with this storm. This warning, the Cavalier County warning, both warnings go until 6:30 this evening. And another big storm just to the west of our area, now developing a hook on the bottom of that. Eric Whitehill headed to that storm there. And if we could take his feed, take a look at what he's looking at. He's headed west towards that storm. You can see the rain right there, rain free over here. Not seeing any particular lowerings in that area, but he is reporting that he's seeing winds blowing into this storm, which means that storm may continue to intensify. He's also seeing a lot of lightning with this storm as he's making its way off towards the west, towards that storm. So we'll continue to monitor that with Eric Whitehill. Now back to the radar. I mentioned the hook trying to develop on that storm. There is some rotation on the backside of that storm, and we may see a spin up with that particular storm as it continues to move off toward the east. Now it's a county away from Stutzman, Eddie Foster county, so we'll continue to monitor that. We've got some time to keep an eye on it as it moves off towards the east. Across the northern plains, there's all the action. It's in our neck of the woods. Numerous severe thunderstorm warnings out there, and that severe thunderstorm watch goes until midnight, so it could be a very active time of it for many hours. As we head through the rest of the evening, we'll see that chance for some showers and some thunderstorms making their way off towards the east. Some could be strong, perhaps severe. Isolated tornadoes not out of the question. Some strong and gusty winds over 60 to 70 miles per hour, and some hail, some very sizable hail possible. Then a break, and then another wave possible very late tonight, early tomorrow morning. But that takes aim on the northern valley, and then it weakens as it continues to make its way off towards the northeast and into Canada. Then the rest of the day, it looks pretty good. It is going to be kind of breezy to windy later on the day out of the west and northwest. Those winds gusting over 30 miles per hour at times, and after topping out in the 70s north, 80s south, we'll cool it back down just a bit. There is your severe risk. It's already happening along and west of I-29, along and north of I-94, and that's pretty much where the watch box is located. Here in Fargo, we'll start off tomorrow with partly to mostly sunny skies, and on a warm note, 70 degrees, mid-80s by your lunchtime hour. We'll top it out in the upper 80s. Picture of the day, some angry skies, and we're seeing that in some locations as we speak. This from the storms on Wednesday west of Larimore. Thanks to Katie for sending that in. We're going to use that as the background to our 7-day forecast. And yeah, stormy time maybe very early on Saturday, then most of the day fine. Early on Sunday, a chance for showers and storms for the far southern valley, the way it looks. A break in the action Monday, and then the way it looks right now, more severe storms possible Tuesday and again on Wednesday. So active night tonight, and it could be active again tomorrow morning, and then more severe weather next week as well. So keep it tuned to the latest forecast. Keep it tuned right here to Valley News Live, Valley News Live Facebook page, valleynewslive.com, and the Valley News Live weather app. And we'll have you covered no matter where you are.
At least you gave us a couple of days in there where we don't have to worry. So
one or 2 days where you can relax, and we can relax.
Thank you.
You got it. Twins. Several severe thunderstorm warning continue across the area. This one making its way southeast through Cavalier County, moving at about 40 miles per hour. This has some rotation with it. 70-mile-per-hour winds possible with this storm. Some quarter-size hail as well. It continues for the next couple of minutes. I suspect there'll be another new warning issued for that storm here shortly. Another storm making its way northeast at around 40 miles per hour through Benson County. That's about out of its warning as well. It looks a little weaker now, but could still be producing winds of 60 miles per hour and some quarter-sized hail. Eric Whitehill monitoring this storm, and it's got quite a hook on it. It's starting to re-intensify once again. He can see a ragged wall cloud, and he's about 40 miles away from it. He'll continue to monitor that as it approaches Eddie, Foster, and Stutzman counties as it moves off towards the east-southeast over the next little while. He's also seeing a lot of lightning with that storm, and there's the rotation on the backside of that storm, and he is going to continue to monitor that as we head through the rest of the evening. As we head through the rest of the night, we'll continue to have that chance for some thunderstorms, and they'll make their way off toward the east and the northeast. Weakening tomorrow. Tomorrow looks pretty decent with high temperatures in the 70s north, some 80s off towards the south. So a quiet day after some early morning showers and thunderstorms. Much quieter conditions will be nice, but until then, severe storms will continue overnight tonight. Early tomorrow, slight risk in the yellow is where the highest risk exists overnight. Damaging winds, damaging hail, and isolated tornadoes will be possible.
Major League Baseball is always
on Team Weather Alert.
Good evening. This will be a quick weather update. A tornado warning has been issued for southeastern Cavalier as well as west central Pembina County for this particular storm that we're talking about right here, moving off towards the southeast. Let me get my monitor out of the way there. This storm moving off towards the southeast at around 40 miles per hour, around 35 miles per hour. The toughest part of the storm is right about there where you see that notch. We're going to pull up a little bit different view. This is our radial velocity. This is the winds blowing towards and away from the radar. The greens going towards the radar, the reds going away, and that's where the potential rotation is, and that moving off towards the southeast again at 35 miles per hour. If you live in these areas, take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. If you've got a basement, a great idea to get on into the basement. Do not wait till you can see it or hear it. If you've got time to grab some pillows and blankets on the way into your tornado shelter, good idea to do that as well, or a bicycle helmet if you've got one handy. Another look at the radar. Again, we're talking about this particular area right there, and we're gonna zoom on into that area. And that's moving just to the west of the Olga area, and it's going to move off towards the southeast. This warning includes Osnabrück and Olga. It'll be in those areas around 6:50. Concrete and Milton around 7 o'clock. The mountain area around 7:10 as it moves off towards the southeast at 35 miles per hour. And again, the strongest rotation right here, just to the west of the Olga area, where you've got the reds going away from the radar, the greens going towards. That's where the potential rotation is. Nothing confirmed on the ground at this point, but there is the risk for a tornado as it moves off towards the southeast at around 35 miles per hour. We'll put this storm into motion. In addition to the risk of a tornado, you've also got the possibility of some 70-mile-per-hour winds and maybe some quarter-sized hail or even slightly larger as this makes its way off towards the southeast. So once again, tornado warning is in effect until 7:15, southeastern Cavalier County, west central Pembina counties for this particular storm. Again, if you live in these areas, take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Basement is best. If you don't have a basement, lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. If you've got time to grab pillows and blankets to protect yourself with, or even a bicycle helmet if you've got one handy, a good idea to do that as well. We will continue to monitor this as well as other storms across the region. That is the only warned storm in our region, but a severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for much of northeastern North Dakota until midnight tonight. So we will continue to monitor things as we head through this evening. Until then, let's return it to regular programming.
This has been a Valley Storm Team Weather Alert.
Good evening. This will be a quick weather update. Tornado warning continues for portions of central Cavalier, west central Pembina counties for this particular storm as it continues to slide off towards the southeast at around 35 miles per hour. In addition to the possibility of a tornado, quarter-sized hail also possible with this storm as it makes its way off towards the southeast. We've seen some quarter-sized hail reports in both near the Olga area and in the concrete areas as this storm system has made its way off towards the southeast. There's that storm system making its way off towards the southeast, and it looks like it's starting to bow out, making that possibly the tornado threat may be decreasing with this particular storm. We'll take a look at the rotation inside that storm, and it still does have some rotation in it. It looks a little bit more broad than it did earlier this evening. We also have a brand new warning off towards the west in Benson County, a tornado warning now issued for Benson County for this particular storm. We'll get the information on that. This particular storm making its way off towards the east southeast at around 40 miles per hour at 7:05. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located over Fillmore. That's about 44 miles west of Devil's Lake. This storm moving off toward the east at 40 miles per hour. Quarter-sized hail also possible with this storm. With both storms, you'll want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. If you've got a basement, a great idea to get on into the basement. Otherwise, lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. A bathroom, a good idea. The plumbing helps reinforce the walls. If you've got time to grab pillows and blankets on your way into the shelter, a good idea to do that as well, or even a bicycle helmet if one is handy. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning now issued for that storm. As mentioned, it looks like the tornado threat decreasing, but still a very powerful storm making its way off toward the southeast, and another powerful storm just to the west of Eddy and Foster counties, northwestern Stutzman County. We'll continue to monitor that storm as well as we make our way through the evening. So multiple warnings out there. We will continue to monitor these storms as we head through the evening, and we'll continue updating you as necessary. Until then, let's return it to regular programming.
This has been a Valley News Live Storm Team Weather Alert. This is a Valley News Live Storm Team Weather Alert.
Good evening. This will be a quick weather update. Tornado warning continues for western Benson County until 7:30 this evening for this particular storm right here. This is a very powerful storm earlier near the Rugby area, just west of Rugby. This storm produced wind gusts of 104 miles per hour. Now, the tornado warning continues until 7:30 p.m. as this storm continues to make its way off toward the east at around 40 miles per hour. Right now, it's about 44 miles west of the Devil's Lake area, making its way off towards the east at around 40 miles per hour. We'll put this storm into motion, and you can see it is a very powerful storm. It's got quite a hook with it, a lot of hail with it, possibly quarter size or even larger as it makes its way off towards the east. Going to take a look at the rotation inside that storm, and you can see there's some very strong rotation in here. Now, there's no confirmed tornado on the ground yet, but there's some very strong rotation located in that storm. We're going to zoom in on that and get a closer look at that. That rotation, very strong, very close to the Harlow area. If you live in the Harlow area, if you live in the Comstock area, you're going to want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Lowest floor of your home, basement best, but otherwise lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. Grab some pillows and blankets on the way in if you've got time to do that. A bicycle helmet also comes in handy. This storm continues to make its way off towards the east at 40 miles per hour. We're going to put this into motion and show you that rotation. And again, it's some very strong rotation in this area, and that continues to make its way off towards the east. Again, I want to stress nothing confirmed, but do not wait until you can see it or hear it. Go ahead and take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Now, this is the only tornado warning we have right now. Justin, we're going to head it over to you and talk about the other storms we've got up in the Northern Valley as well.
Okay, we have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings just issued. We want to start with this one. A couple of severe thunderstorm warnings just issued. We're going to start with this one up in portions of Cavalier, Pembina, and Walsh County. This is in effect until 8 p.m. That is a severe thunderstorm warning. With this storm, you can see we have hail 1 inch in diameter and winds 70 miles per hour. And we also have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's just been put into effect. This is for portions of western Foster County and getting into portions of Stutsman County. This is actually one of the stronger storms we've actually seen move through central North Dakota. The information on this one, if I can pull this up, we're expecting a 2-inch hail from this one, a wind speed 60 miles per hour with a tornado possible on this one. This one is moving off to the east at 25 miles per hour. I want to get a track on this one here. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning for portions of western Foster and portions of northwestern Stutsman County. Again, moving off to the east at 25 miles per hour, just getting into our viewing area. So here is the track, my system. If I can get this to work at about 25 miles per hour. So if you're in the Carrington area or the Gray City area, be prepared for this one. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning, but the lowest level of your house, preferably a basement, is the best place to be with this one. I want to put a track on this storm in the Northern Valley. We had a tornado warning on this earlier. Nothing seen from this one in terms of tornadoes, but 70 mile per hour winds were reported with this one just off to the south of Cavalier and north of Edinburgh. This one is moving off to the southeast at 35 miles per hour. So let's put a track on this one southeast at 35 miles per hour. And if you are in the Drayton area, Grafton at 754, and down in Donaldson at 811. Again, a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. This one is for portions of Cavalier, Pembina, and Walsh County until 8 o'clock, and another one for portions of western Foster and northwestern Stutsman County until 8:15. I understand we do have Eric on the line. We're going to send it back to Robert. Okay, we have his video. We're going to send it back to Robert for that portion of the weather.
Yeah, if we can take a look at that video right now, Eric Whitehill is actually on the storm off toward the south, making its way into the Stutsman County area. Powerful storm there with some sizable hail. That storm is rotating. It is a severe thunderstorm warning with that storm. The only tornado warning we have is for the storm in western Benson County. If we can go back to the radar, that storm in western Benson County, not only do we have, if we can go back to the radar, there we go. Go to max 2, please. There we go. That's still max 1. No, that is, there we go, max 2. And we're talking about this particular storm right here. that storm. There we go. That storm right there, a very powerful storm. Now, in addition to the threat for a tornado, I wanted to show you the hail sizes with this storm. The hail core is becoming larger and larger as this storm moves off toward the east. So some very large hail possible with this storm. We're talking hail possibly as large as, oh, I don't know, it looks like 2.5 to 3 inch size hail possible with this particular storm. And we're going to see some very large hail, 3.1 inch hail possible with this storm right now in some of the larger hail cores. So this is a very large hail core. We're going to put that into motion so you can see the direction that it's been moving. You can see we're starting to get some reds, the darker reds in there. That's where the largest hail is. We're going to zoom on into that and get some town names for you as it moves off towards the east through western Benson County. It's a very powerful storm. Do not you want to take your tornado precautions in this area and make sure those cars are parked inside as well as the storm continues to move off towards the east at around 40 miles per hour. We're going to take a track from the largest hail core there off towards the east, and Comstock, Brinsmead, Tilden, Churches Ferry, all included in that. And again, that's for the hail. We've also got the tornado warning that's in effect with this particular storm. That until 7:30 this evening, and we're going to put that into motion. But yeah, this is a tough storm as it continues to make its way off towards the east. Some very strong rotation notated into the storm. It looks like we may have a couple of areas of rotation within that storm as it makes its way off towards the east. If you live in these areas, particularly Harlow, the Leeds area, Brinsmead, yeah, you'll want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible as this storm continues to make its way off towards the east at around 40 miles per hour. Even points off towards the, even further off towards the east, Churches Ferry, Minnewacan. You may want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. A very powerful storm. This storm has a history of producing wind gusts of over 100 miles per hour west of Rugby. So as it continues to make its way off towards the east at around 40 miles per hour, you want to continue to take your tornado precautions. If we could take a look at Eric Whitehill's feed once again, I believe that's back up. That is not for this storm. Eric, we got you on the line there?
Yes, you do, Robert.
All right, what are we looking at now?
Right now I'm looking at the cell that is just to the west of Carrington. Looking at the updraft space, we do have a wall cloud that is starting to build just west and northwest of Woodworth, just directly north of Pettibone. So just starting to get into our viewing area. Over the last couple of minutes, a lot of cloud and ground lightning strikes have been popping all around. It looks like this cell has got some very large hail with it as well. Haven't come across any hail yet. I'm trying to stay out of it just because of some of the reports were in excess of 1 to 2 inch hail. But we do have a new wall cloud that is starting to try and build, again, just to the north of Pettibone, northwest of Woodworth. And
are you located just north of Woodworth? Is that correct?
Yes, I'm several miles north of Woodworth. If you know the area, there's an area called the Hawk's Nest. And I am just south of the Hawk's Nest where all those antennas are. That's just to the southwest of Carrington.
Okay, continue to monitor that for us. If we go back to the radar, I'm going to show you exactly where Eric Whitehill is and where he is looking. He is, if we could take, I'm blocking it. There we go. There is Eric Whitehill. He's looking back at that storm, and we're looking into this area here where he's seeing the wall cloud there, and he was mentioning the large hail, some 1 inch hail possible with that particular storm as it makes its way off towards the east and the southeast towards Eddy, Foster, and this is northwestern Stutsman County right here. So that storm beginning to impact the northwestern areas of that county. It is just a severe thunderstorm warning with this particular storm at this time, but off towards the north, that's where we've got the continuation of the tornado warning for western Benson County, and that goes until 7:30 this evening again for this particular storm off towards the north as it makes its way off towards the east at 40 miles per hour. If you live in these areas, in the red box there, Churches Ferry, the Brinsmead area, Harlow, it's right on top of you. You're probably getting some strong and gusty winds and some very large hail. And in terms of the hail, we do have some very large hail being indicated with this storm. Over 3 inches. When you see the red here, the over 3 inch hail. So it looks like the hail core north of the Harlow area. It may impact the Leeds area as we head through the next 10 or 15 minutes. If you live in these areas, you'll want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Once again, Lowest floor of your home, basement best. If you don't have a basement, interior room or closet is best. Basement's a good idea, or a bathroom a good idea. The plumbing helps reinforce the walls. If you've got time to grab pillows and blankets, a good idea to do that as well. Bicycle helmets also come in handy. Another hail core outside of that area, some much smaller hail, but some sizable hail as well, making its way through an area just outside of this tornado warning. We're going to show you this once again and put this into motion. And this particular storm, again, has a history of producing a wind gust of over 100 miles per hour just west of Rugby earlier this evening. And you can see a very powerful storm. If you live in the Brinsmade area, you want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible, as well as the rest of the area in western portions of Benson County. We'll continue to monitor this storm. Justin, how's things looking up north?
Okay, we just want to take a look at this storm right now. There's a severe thunderstorm warning still into effect for portions of Cavalier, Pembina, and Walsh County. This storm had a tornado warning issued on it just as it was in the Langdon area. No tornado reported, so we're going to go with a severe thunderstorm warning, but still, we do have the possibility of 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and hail, according to our instruments, say 3/4 to 1 3/4 of an inch. I want to take a look at the hail core with this one right here. And if you live in the Hoople area or just off to the south and off to the east, approaching the Mant area, I'm going to draw where you might see that hail core out there. Again, hail sizes around 1 inch, maybe a little higher if you live in these areas. Also, if you live in the Hoople area or just off to the north and to the west of Grafton, prepare for hail and wind. Let's toss it back to Robert.
Yeah, the tornado warning continues for Benson County, and we do have now, there was a brief touchdown of a tornado just west of the Harlow area at about 7:18. So this has produced at least one brief tornado. It could produce another tornado at any time. Take your tornado, I can't urge it enough, take your tornado precautions as soon as possible in western portions of Benson County. Lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. A basement is best. And it looks like we have a brand new tornado warning, and I'm going to get the information on that. They're extending that tornado warning well off towards the east, and it looks like it includes the Devil's Lake area as well. So we're going to get the information on that as we go through time. We're going to continue to see the possibility of a tornado and the information on that. A confirmed tornado located near Harlow. This is as of 7:28, so a confirmed tornado located near Harlow. So if you live in these areas, the Harlow area, the Brinsmade area, and points off towards the east of those areas, you'll want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Weather spotters confirm a tornado near the Harlow area. The storm now moving to the east. It picked up a little bit of speed, 45 miles per hour. In addition to the threat of a tornado, ping pong ball-sized hail is possible. So we're going to zoom into that storm. And again, as of 7:28, weather spotters confirming a tornado near the Harlow area. Now, if you live in Comstock, the Brinsmade area, the Harlow area, you want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Downstream towards the Minnewacan area, you'll want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. This is the area that we're concerned with. It's the tail end of this particular storm. The hail will be further north in this area. That's where you're seeing the very large hail off towards the north, the rotation further off towards the south, and we'll show you where that rotation is. Wow. Yeah, right there is where we're talking about a very strong rotation in that particular area just to the west of the Brinsmade area. And again, the touchdown confirmed near the Harlow area just a couple of minutes ago. And we're going to take a look at this. I'm going to query that and see how strong this rotation is. And yeah, some strong shear in there, some very strong spin in that particular location. If you live in Brinsmade, Churches Ferry, Minnewacan, and points further off towards the east, take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. This is a very powerful storm, and it now includes a confirmed tornado on the ground. We're talking about this particular area right here. That's where the tornado could still be on the ground and making its way off towards the east at 45 miles per hour. This is a quick-moving storm. Do not wait until you can see a tornado or you can hear a tornado. Take your tornado precautions now as we head through the next little while. We're going to continue to see this move downstream. I'm going to put a track on that from the strongest part of that storm off toward the east at around 45 miles per hour, and some of the towns located in there near the Brinsmade area at 7:38, Tilden 7:43, Penn at 7:53, Lally North at 7:56, Darby at 8:01, and if it holds together, the Devil's Lake area at around 8:08. And again, that's a very powerful storm. This is not something to be taken lightly. This is nothing like what we had last Wednesday. These could be some very strong tornadoes that these storms produce. So you'll want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. We'll continue to monitor this storm. Justin, anything new on the storms up north?
Nothing new as of yet, but I want to just track this storm right now, just south of Cavalier, just off to the north of Hoople. Now we are seeing a wind gust in excess of 70 miles per hour possible. It is moving off to the, say, south and to the east at 35 miles per hour. I want to put a track on this storm and show you who is in the path of it. 35 miles per hour off to the southeast. Again, we have a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for portions of Pembina and Walsh County. Let's see, I'm not zoomed out enough to do that, so we're going to try that one again. Moving off to the, first off, Pembina, Cavalier, and Walsh County until, what was that, 8 o'clock p.m. We have, let's see, it moving off to the south at around 35 miles per hour. So here are the cities in the path: Hoople, the Grafton area, Kellogg, Minto, and getting into Poland if it holds together by around an hour from now. And we also have a severe thunderstorm warning that is into the Carrington area just to the north of Woodward in effect for portions of Stutzman and Foster County. And this severe thunderstorm warning in effect because of now 2.5-inch hail, a possible tornado, and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It is moving off to the east at 25 miles per hour, so we're going to put a track on this one, east at 25 for the severe thunderstorm warning for portions of western Foster and northwestern Stutzman County. And we are going to send it back to Robert right now with more information.
And again, the continuation of the tornado warning for Benson and Ramsey counties for this particular storm. This is the strongest storm that we've got in the area right now, and continues to make its way off toward the east at 45 miles per hour. We've had at least one report of a brief touchdown near the Harlow area. That was at about 7:28, so about 5 minutes ago, and that continues to make its way off toward the east, 45 miles per hour. We'll put a track on this from the most significant part of the storm in terms of a possible tornado, and that's in that little notch area right there, moving off toward the east at 45 miles per hour. So if you live in these areas, including the Brinsmade area, 735, it's getting ready to be right on top of you. You should be already in your tornado shelter in this area. Tilden at 740, Ramsey at 750, and if it holds together, it'll continue to move off towards the east near the Devil's Lake area at around 8:04. Again, take your tornado precautions. There has been at least one touchdown with this particular storm. So we'll continue to monitor that. Take your tornado precautions. Lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet, lowest floor of your home. The bathroom, a good idea. The plumbing helps reinforce the walls. If you've got time to grab pillows and blankets, a good idea to do that as well. We'll take a look at that storm once again. We're going to take a look at the rotation inside that storm. Still some very strong rotation. It looks a little bit more broad than it did earlier, but still some very tight rotation. Very near the Brinsmade area, and you'll want to take your tornado precautions. Again, if you're not already doing so, you should be in your tornado shelter. There is some very tight rotation right there, and again, moving off toward the east at around 45 miles per hour. Again, do not wait until you can see it or hear it. Go ahead and take your tornado precautions. In addition to the threat of a tornado, some very large hail possible with this particular storm, and the hail core getting even bigger. Where you see those reds, that's where you've got hail possibly in excess of 3 inches in diameter. So some very large hail just to the southwest of Leeds. This area moving off towards the east, also at around 45 miles per hour. We're going to back that up just a little bit, and you can see how the hail core has been growing in size as we've gone through time. So a very powerful storm as it continues to make its way off towards the east. We're going to show you that again on the radar and put this into motion. There is that storm, and again, it's racing towards the Devil's Lake area, 45 miles per hour. It's going to be in Devil's Lake within about a half hour or so. And you've got some weaker storms making their way northeast through the Devil's Lake area. The big one well off towards your west, and it's going to make its way towards your area in a very short time. I'm going to show you the rotation once again that we're talking about and zoom into that. And some very strong rotation again, not too far to the north of the Minnewacan area. Right in here is where we're talking about a potential tornado just south of Brinsmade, just north of Minnewacan, moving off towards the east at 45 miles per hour. Take your tornado precautions as soon as possible, as these storms are very powerful storms. Not to be forgotten, the storm off toward the south, impacting parts of Eddy and Foster and Stutzman County. That making its way off towards the east and southeast at around 35 miles per hour. I don't know if we can pull up Eric Whitehill's feed. He's keeping an eye on this particular storm as it makes its way off towards the east and southeast at around 40 miles per hour. That's that warning, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 8:15 this evening. Eric, we still got you on the line?
Yes, you do, Robert.
What do we got?
Good news is that the wall cloud that I was watching is starting to lose some of its organization. However, it looks like there's a new updraft space that's starting to form to the east of there. I'm still several miles to the north of Woodworth, just off of County Road 68 and County Road 44, watching the cell as it's starting to make a little bit of a right turn, starting to head down towards the south and east. There's a little bit of a warm front line through here, Robert, and that's most likely what this thing's trying to latch onto. So it's definitely a cell that we have to continue to watch very, very closely over the next few minutes.
Okay, and where are you located again?
I am approximately 8 miles north of Woodworth in Stutsman County.
Okay, if we can go back to the radar, I can show you exactly where Eric is talking about. He's located right about there. He's keeping an eye on that storm. Doesn't look quite as organized, but he said it is beginning to try and reorganize in that particular area. So a severe thunderstorm warning for that particular area until 8:15. That is not the strongest storm. The strongest storm is the tornado warning storm up for Benson and Ramsey County, and this continues to make its way off toward the east. There has been at least one touchdown confirmed with this particular storm as it made its way through the Harlow area earlier, making its way through the Brinsmade area as we speak. And if it holds together, the Devil's Lake area, you're going to be under the gun here in just a little while. This just north of the Minnewacan area. Going to take a look at the rotation inside that storm once again. Some very strong rotation just to the north of Minnewacan. We're talking about this particular area right here. That's where we're concerned the possibility of a tornado, and the confirmation was about 7:25, so that's about 13 minutes ago. I've not seen another report of a tornado on the ground, but this continues to make its way off towards the east at 45 miles per hour. We're also monitoring Eric Whitehill's feed. He's not seeing anything new there, but this particular storm, we're going to show it to you once again, and then we're going to put a track on that to show you where it's headed here in the next little while. Again, about 45 miles per hour off towards the east. And if you live in these areas, Tilden, 741, so just a couple of minutes away, Lally North, Darby, Devil's Lake, you're under the gun here in the next 20 minutes or so. If you live in these areas, you're going to want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible as this powerful storm continues to make its way off toward the east at 45 miles per hour. In addition to the threat of a tornado, some giant hail possible with this particular storm. We're going to show you the hail once again. And there it is, where you get the bright reds here. You could see hail in excess of 3 inches in diameter. You're going to start to see that make its way off towards the east. That's just south of the Leeds area, it looks like, and maybe impacting Leeds as we speak. And that's some very large hail between Comstock and Leeds, making its way off towards the east at 45 miles per hour. Churches Ferry, if you don't have the car inside, you want to get it into the garage as soon as possible, and then take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Again, taking a look at the radar, we're going to put this into motion. The storm looks a little less organized than it did earlier, but it's still a very powerful storm and still tornado warned until the 8:15 time period. And again, making its way quickly off towards the east at 45 miles per hour. The storm has a history of producing a 104 mile per hour wind gust back near the Rugby area earlier this evening. So if you live in these areas, Minnewacan, over towards the Devil's Lake area, take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Take a look at the rotation again and see if that has changed at all. Still some very powerful spin in the storm right about there. That's where the potential tornado would be as it makes its way off towards the east at around 45 miles per hour. We're going to put some storm tracks onto that and see if we're seeing any rotation inside that particular storm. And there we go. Yeah, it's showing some rotation. It's not as strong as it was earlier. Earlier, we did have some indication of some stronger rotation. It's still there. We did have at least one confirmed touchdown with this storm near the Harlow area as the storm made its way off towards the east, and will continue to make its way off towards the east as we head through the rest of the evening. Taking a look at the hail sizes once again. Good news. it looks like some of the hail sizes are beginning to decrease as we go through time. And there's an update on the tornado warning. Let's get the information on that. Severe thunderstorm now capable of producing a tornado. So they've made it now a radar indicated tornado as opposed to a confirmed tornado, moving off towards the east at, it looks like 45 miles per hour. So they maintain that speed, and they also indicate that we did have that brief touchdown near the Harlow area, which was around the 7:18 time period. So that's about 25 minutes ago, and the storm will continue to make its way off towards the east, 45 miles per hour. Some very large hail, some quarter-size or larger-size hail possible with this storm as it makes its way off towards the east. The good news is, though, at least for right now, the hail cores look a little bit less impressive, so that may be a sign that the storm is weakening. However, storms can weaken and then re-intensify as we go through time, but it does look a little less impressive, but it's still a very powerful storm, not something to be taken lightly. If you live in that red polygon, especially from the storm off towards the east, including the Devil's Lake area, you'll want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Lowest floor of your home. Basement is best. Otherwise, lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. A bathroom, a good idea. The plumbing helps reinforce the walls. Grab some pillows and blankets on the way into your tornado shelter as well. And if you've got some bicycle helmets handy, those would be a good idea to protect your head as well. I'm going to show you the motion of the storm one more time as it moves off towards the east at 45 miles per hour. That tornado warning continues until 8:15. Justin, anything new on the storms up north?
Toward our north, we have a severe thunderstorm warning again in effect for northwestern Walsh, southern Pembina until 8 p.m. And this includes the city of Grafton, which could be getting some nasty weather in a few minutes. Let's take a look at this one. This is warned for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible and 1-inch hail moving off to the south at 35 miles per hour. I want to start with a track on this one. If you're in the Grafton area, definitely take shelter right now, but let's see who else is in the path of this storm. The Pittsburgh area, 756, Grafton. Within the next 15 minutes, Minto, Warsaw, Stephen, and Argyle. I want to show you the hail core on this one. And as you can see, the hail core is just off to the north and to the west of the Grafton area. We're getting green, which is around 3/4 of an inch to 1 3/4 inch hail. And let's take a look at where we are seeing those wind gusts in excess of 57 miles per hour, again off to the north and to the west of the Grafton area. And let's draw this on the map. If you live in Grafton and off to the north and to the west, take shelter right now. Small interior room away from window, preferably a basement. Again, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and 1-inch hail is possible from this storm. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. Also, if you live in the Carrington area, we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for you. That is for Western Foster, northwestern Stutsman County. This one is until 8:15. I've been watching the hail core on this one. This one is capable of producing large hail, 2.5-inch hail in diameter, and is just starting to get into our viewing area. So as you can see, the yellows on the map is where our instruments are showing hail 1 to say 2.5 inches in diameter. It should just skirt the southern fringes of Carrington. This is where we could see the largest hail on this one. Also 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible with this one. So if you live in the Carrington area or points off to the south, prepare yourself now. The main threat from this one, hail, up to 2.5 inches in diameter. Let's put a track on this one. It is moving off to the east at 25 miles per hour. We want to get to Robert first.
Yeah, talking about those storms in the Northern Valley, we're going to take a broad brush look first. This storm, as it made its way through Pembina County, we had wind reports of 91 and 94 miles per hour. So a very powerful storm making its way towards Grafton. Some incredible wind speeds. Again, 91 and a 94 mile per hour wind gusts reported with this storm making its way off towards the southeast. And that was as of 7:24, so that was a little while ago, and these storms continue to make their way off towards the southeast. Another thing that I wanted to show you, I'm going to take a broader look at this area. You've got the couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. You've got the tornado warning for parts of Benson and Ramsey County. More storms trying to develop off towards the south. So the Southern Valley, even though the severe thunderstorm watch is in this area, we also have that risk for some strong storms possibly developing off towards the south as well, just southwest of the Stutsman County area. So we'll continue to monitor those storms as well. As we take a look at the most powerful storm, though, again, that is this storm, the tornado warned storm. The good news is it's starting to look a little less impressive. However, it could be cycling. It could be redeveloping as we go through time. Right now, we're going to take a look at that, a closer look at that, where that notch is, where the potential of a tornado back in this area. There was a brief touchdown back near the Harlow area at around 7:18. We're going to take a look at the rotation inside that storm, and it may be reorganizing. It looks like it may be reorganizing a little bit further towards the west. So we'll continue to monitor that storm. Have not had another confirmed touchdown as of late. In terms of hail sizes still pretty strong, pretty large hail. Where you see the bright red, you can see hail in excess of 3 inches in that area as it makes its way off towards the east. So a very powerful storm. You could also have winds gusting in excess of 60 miles per hour, some very large hail, and still the possibility of a tornado. We're going to put the radar back on there and put another track on here. This moving at a very quick clip. If you live in the Devil's Lake area, you're going to want to be taking your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Let me get that track on there, moving off towards the east at 45 miles per hour. And again, this is going to be in the Devil's Lake area at 8:07, so you're within the next 20 minutes. You're going to have that tornado moving towards your area, 7:54, near the Ramsey area. Justin, what do you got?
If Control Room is listening, can they go to our messages on our Facebook page? It looks like we do have a photo of what could be a tornado. This one is just southeast of Milton. If you can just get that ready to pull up on the air. And yeah, we have a viewer that sent us a photo. This is from a farm southeast of Milton, and I just wanted to get that one on the air for you, see what that looks like.
Which storm is that on?
Which southeast of Milton. Let me look that one up.
All right, if we can go back to the radar. Yeah, I'm not sure which storm we're talking about. We're going to get that information again. This storm up in the Devil's Lake area. Tornado warning continues until 8:15. If you live in the Devil's Lake area, that storm is going to be in your area by about 8:07. We'll continue to monitor that storm. We're going to take another look at that. We're going to get that track off of there. We're going to take a look at this. We're going to go ahead and put a loop onto that particular storm as it makes its way off toward the east. It's looking a little less impressive. Still a very powerful storm, though. It may be in the process of redeveloping a new hook on the backside of that storm. We'll take a look at the rotation inside that storm. Yeah, there's still some pretty good rotation inside that storm. It does not look as impressive as it did earlier. And again, there was a confirmed touchdown back near the Harlow area at around 7:18. Still some rotation in there as it makes its way down Highway 19 off towards the east. And we're going to put another track on that. Actually, you know, we're going to take a look at the hail sizes first. Still some very sizable hail possible with this storm just southeast of the Leeds area. Some very large hail. Bryn's Maid, you're probably getting some big-time hail as we speak, or getting ready to move out of there. Church's Ferry, if this hail core holds together, it's going to come right into your neck of the woods. And where you see that brighter red, that's indicative of the possibility of hail well over 2 inches, possibly over 3 inches in diameter as it makes its way off towards the east at around 45 miles per hour. And again, taking a look at the reflectivity, there is that storm, and looks like they have a little interference with the radar, that line there. But there is the most dangerous part of the storm, that in this area. The old notch right about here, it looks like a new one trying to form. And again, the storm may be trying to redevelop as we speak as it makes its way off towards the east, towards the Devil's Lake area. We're going to pause that storm. We're going to put a track on that storm. And again, the most powerful part of that is right about in this area where you see that notch right above the number 19. We're going to take a look at the rotation inside that storm. And it matches up right where that notch is. That's where we're seeing the strongest rotation. And that's making its way right down Highway 19 as it moves its off towards the east at 45 miles per hour. We're going to put the reflectivity back on there. We're going to track it once more for you and let you know where to expect this in the next 45 minutes or so. as it makes its way off towards the east at around 45 miles per hour. Here are some of the locations: 801 in Darby, 807 in the Devil's Lake area, Essex at 814. So a very strong storm that will continue to slide off towards the east. 45 miles per hour. Again, do not wait till you can see it or hear it. Take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. Basement's best, but if you don't have a basement, lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. And take your tornado precautions as soon as possible, making its way off towards the east at 45 miles per hour. Justin, you have anything new on the tornado?
Anything new? We got information that Milton photo was from that storm that's moving through Grafton right now. So yeah, we've been tracking the storm. The tornado now radar indicated the one you were looking at, hail 1.5 inch in diameter. But we're tracking the storm in the Northern Valley. Still a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 8 p.m. We do have reports of 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts as it made its way just off to the north and to the west of the Grafton area. So let's see where this storm is right now. As you can see, the worst of the wind should be just between the Drayton and Grafton area, and we do have a hail core. You could see hail up to 1 inch in diameter from this one, also in the same area. So if you live in portions of the city of Grafton, the northern portions of the city, take shelter from this one. You are going to get the lightning and the rain. Also, it is starting to approach Drayton. I do want to put a track on this one moving southeast at 35 miles per hour. And we will see if the National Weather Service does issue another warning on this one. This is until 8 p.m. So if you're in the cities of Herrick, Donaldson, Stephen, Argyle, and March in the next hour or so, be prepared for this one. Again, 1 inch hail, but 70-mile-per-hour winds reported from this one now between Drayton and Grafton, and also another severe thunderstorm warning. We were watching this one for large hail. It is just getting into the city of Carrington. The largest hail up to 2.5 inches in diameter, and the hail core is actually still hitting just to the south of the Carrington area. This hail core is a little delayed, so if you live in this circle from Carrington and point south getting into portions of northern Stutsman County, definitely be prepared for large hail. Get that car in the garage and make sure you get inside so you don't get injured from this one. Again, it's severe thunderstorm warning, western Foster, northwestern Stutsman until 8:15. We're going to send it back to Robert right now.
Yeah, and that storm up in the Benson County, the Ramsey County area, looks like it may be trying to intensify once again. It looks like we're going to go back a few frames, and you can see that the notch that it's trying to develop, it looks like it's re-intensifying right into this area, and it's a very powerful storm. We're going to take a look at the reflectivity of the velocities underneath. Yeah, we've got some very strong rotation in this area. Just between Ramsey and Lally North, it looks like where that storm is going to pass as it moves off towards the east at around 45 miles per hour. And we're talking about this particular area right here. We're looking at it from the Minot radar. So these moving towards the radar, this moving away, and you can just update it there as it makes its way off towards the east at around 45 miles per hour. Again, if you live in these areas, take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. We're going to take a look at the reflectivity once again, and that the rotation continues right where that notch is, making its way off towards the east, 45 miles per hour. If you live in these particular areas, take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. Basement is best, but otherwise the lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. We're going to take a track on this storm still. Anticipated to be in the Darby area, 802, 807 in the Devil's Lake area, Essex 815, 822 in Prairie, and it continues off towards the east at 45 miles per hour. Now, the edge of that tornado warning right about there, so we're taking this track even beyond that area in case this does continue beyond the original area of the tornado warning. And there we did have a brief touchdown earlier near the Harlow area as this storm made its way through that area. And a very powerful storm making its way off toward the east. In addition to the threat of tornadoes, some very strong and gusty winds and some very large hail possible with this storm. And it looks like the hail core, it's re-intensifying as well. We're going to go back a few frames on this, and you can see that it used to be stronger, and then it got a little weaker for a little while, but now it's re-intensifying. Where you see these brighter reds, that's where you can see hail in excess well in excess of 2 inches, possibly even some 3-inch diameter hail. Officially, this storm has a warning on it for hail the size of ping pong balls, and that will continue to make its way off towards the east at around 45 miles per hour as well. Taking a look at the reflectivity once again, moving off towards the east, and that hail core is a little delayed, and so that hail core is most likely, I'm going to stop this, where you see the largest of hail is going to be right in this area here. So again, hail to the size of at least ping pong ball sized in this area as it makes its way off towards the east. That may impact the northern sides of Devil's Lake here in the next few minutes. And again, this will continue to track towards the east, towards the Sweetwater area. Ramsey, you're probably getting some sizable hail as we speak. Churches Ferry, you probably got some sizable hail. And the hail core, again, right about here, at least ping pong ball size as it makes its way off towards the east. In addition to that threat for some very large hail, we have that risk for a tornado. The tornado warning continues until 8:15 for this particular storm, for making its way shortly through the Devil's Lake area. The potential tornado would be right here where this notch is as it makes its way right down Highway 19. It's moving off towards the east at 45 miles per hour. And taking a look at the rotation, we're going to use it a couple different radars. We're going to look at it from a couple different angles from both Grand Forks. It's a little too far away from Grand Forks to see it, but there is the very strong rotation right there, and it looks like that may actually be intensifying as it moves off towards the east. We have had at least one confirmed touchdown with this storm back near the Harlow area at around 7:18. The storm also, even earlier than that, up near the Rugby area, produced a wind gust of 104 miles per hour. Storm making its way off towards the east. The strongest rotation right in here. I want to see how strong that rotation is. So we take a look at that. It's some very strong spin in this particular storm. And we've got, some shear at around 87 miles per hour. So some very strong spin in that particular area as it continues to make its way off toward the east. So it looked like it was trying to weaken for a brief time, and that looks like it's re-intensifying as it makes its way towards Devil's Lake. And there it is, the next, that notch right there, making its way down Highway 19. If you live in these areas, you live in the Devil's Lake area, you should be in your tornado shelter now, as that storm will continue to rapidly approach your area at about 45 miles per hour. Again, do not wait until you can see it or hear it. Take your tornado precautions now. Get into the lowest floor of your home. Basement is best. Otherwise, lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. Stay away from the windows. Stay away from the doors. Take your tornado precautions. If you've got time to grab pillows and blankets on the way into your tornado shelter, a good idea to do that as well to help protect your head. And if you've got a bicycle helmet nearby, that's a good idea to grab as well on your way into the tornado shelter to help protect your head. This storm moving off toward the east at 45 miles per hour. It's a very powerful storm. Once again, that tornado warning continues. Have not seen any new indications of any touchdowns. Have not seen any reports of touchdowns. And we're going to look at the rotation now from a couple different radars. Yeah, and the strongest rotation looks like it is right about there. Now we're looking at it from a different angle now. So we're looking at it from the Grand Forks radar. So the green's going towards the radar, the red's going away. So you've got perhaps a couple different rotations. You could have an anticyclonic one going on here. So you could have a couple of different areas of rotation with that particular storm as it makes its way off towards the east. You should be in your tornado shelters if you're anywhere along that area. The Darby area, the Devil's Lake area, the Sweetwater area, the airport, the Devil's Lake Municipal Airport. If you're in that area, you're going to want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. This storm, again, quickly moving off towards the east at 45 miles per hour. It's going to be in the Devil's Lake area in just a matter of minutes. We're going to zoom on out and show you a track on that storm once again as it makes its way off towards the east at around 45 miles per hour. And this warning goes until 8:15, and if it holds together the way it is, I suspect a new warning will be issued with this particular storm. It's going to be near the Devil's Lake area at around 8:11, so you've got about 10 minutes. You should already be in your tornado shelter, but you've got up to 10 minutes to get into your tornado shelters. Off towards the north, a very large hail core as well to be concerned about, and we're going to take a look at the hail once again with this particular storm. And again, the hail data a little bit delayed. So it was in this area. It's now in this area. We'll show you that on the reflectivity where the largest hail is located. This area right here is where we're concerned about the very large hail. This is the area we're concerned about the potential tornado moving off towards the east. So you've got the tornado moving right down Highway 19, potential tornado. There's some rotation noted there. I have not seen any confirmations of a touchdown, and some sizable hail, at least ping pong ball sized hail. That may impact areas just to the north of Devil's Lake. The Darby area likely to see some very large hail here in the next few minutes. Going to look at the rotation once again. This again out of the Grand Forks radar.
I think we're.
And then we're going to take a look at it out of the Minot area. Yeah, still some strong rotation in there. It does not look as impressive as it did earlier, but still some strong rotation. Take your tornado precaution in these areas, and there it is, an indication of some rotation with that storm fairly high up in the storm. But again, we did have one confirmed touchdown around 7:18 near the Harlow area earlier this evening. Powerful storm continues to make its way through Devil's Lake. Going to zoom on out. Some very strong storms out there, several warnings out there. It looks like we have a new warning up in the Northern Valley. We'll get you information on that here in just a second. Wanted to point out, though, off toward the south, new storms trying to develop in this area. We'll be monitoring those as well. Justin, new thunderstorm warning?
Yes, we have a severe thunderstorm warning. This is encompassing a large area of now getting into Minnesota. It's western Marshall, north central Polk, southern Kitson, southwestern Roseau, northeastern Walsh, and southeastern Pennington County. This is until 9 p.m. Wind gusts of 90 miles per hour are possible with this storm as it moves through. Also, 1.5-inch hail. We want to get right to the track of this one moving off to the east around 40 miles per hour. So if you're, let's bring it up on screen right now. If you're in the Herrick area, around 8:04, so right now, Kennedy around 8:14, Donaldson around 8:20, Stephen 8:32, Karlstad around 8:44 p.m. Again, 90-mile-per-hour winds are possible with this one, and 1.5-inch hail. Let's take a look at that hail core right now. And we are seeing, say, around an inch hail right now. Our instruments are saying it is off to the east of Grafton right now, approaching the Stephen area. So if you're in this area right now, prepare for some large hail. Let's take a look at that velocity too, because we are really concerned that this area just off to the east of Grafton approaching Stephen, where you could see some 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts from this one. Again, this is until 9 p.m. It encompasses a really large area. A severe thunderstorm warning for western Marshall, north central Polk, southern Kitson, southwestern Roseau, northeastern Walsh, and southeastern Pembina, again until 9 p.m. I want to show you where the strongest winds again will be. As you can see, this is starting to bow out right here. It just moved through the Grafton area and is moving through Drayton right now. If you are on I-29 just south of Drayton, or the Red River going across into Minnesota, take precautions right now. Small interior room away from windows, and the best place to be is a basement. Again, severe thunderstorm where it looks like it's moving through mainly rural areas. If you're in the Herrick area or Drayton area, it is over you right now, but if it does hold together, Donaldston, Stephen, Argyle, Minnesota, Alvarado, Minnesota, and Warren, Minnesota, take precautions from this storm. Again, capable of producing 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts and 1.5-inch hail. That severe thunderstorm warning does again go until 9 o'clock. And this severe thunderstorm warning for portions of western Foster and northwestern Stutsman County still until 8:15. Let's take a look at the hail core from this one. It is hitting Carrington right now. Dangerous situation. As you can see, up to 2.5-inch hail, maybe even larger with the reds on the map. And it is still where we were tracking it last time, just to the south of the Carrington area. The Carrington area is going to be skirted just to the south. Take severe thunderstorm precautions in this area, but if you live to the south of Carrington, to the north of the Woodworth or Pringy area, you're in a severe thunderstorm warning. This is again until 8:15. The main threat from this one is 2.5-inch hail. As you can see, I outlined the area you need to definitely be concerned about, but definitely take shelter if you live in the Carrington area. The good news is the largest hail is going to hit rural areas just to the south of Carrington and portions of southern Foster and northern Stutsman County. Again, that is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for western Foster and northwestern Stutsman County until 8:15 p.m. We will keep our eye on this one and see if another warning is issued around the 8:15 time frame. Until then, let's send it back over to Robert with information on that tornado warning.
Yeah, the tornado warned storm, that getting ready to move into the Devil's Lake area. If you live in the Devil's Lake area, you should already be in your tornado shelter. That's a potential tornado where the rotation is, where this little notch is right there on the Highway 19, moving off towards the east, right into Devil's Lake proper as we speak. Take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. We did have at least one touchdown with this storm off towards the west near the Harlow area at around 7:18. You see that storm right on top of Devil's Lake. You should already be in your tornado shelters. Take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Lowest floor of your home. A basement is best. Otherwise, lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. A basement is best, but a bathroom would also work on the lowest floor of your home. The plumbing helps reinforce the walls. If you've got time to grab pillows and blankets on the way into your shelter, good idea to do that, in addition to maybe a bicycle helmet if you've got one of those. So that storm making its way right into Devil's Lake as we speak, moving off towards the east at 45 miles per hour. And there it is. This storm has a history of producing at least one tornado. The storm has a history of producing wind gusts of over 100 miles per hour. It's a lot of hail also coming out of this storm just to the north of where the rotation is. So the main hail core may miss the Devil's Lake area, but the strongest hail core just to the north of the Devil's Lake area. And there it is, the good news on this. Earlier we had a lot of bright reds in there, and now it's down to yellows. It may have some quarter to $half sized hail, maybe even up to ping pong ball sized hail with this storm. And then the hail core, a little bit delayed in our data, is right about here, just north of the Devil's Lake area. Devil's Lake, you're probably getting some hail as well as we take a look at the storm again. The strongest part of that storm in terms of the hail possibility in this area, tornado possibility right around this area as it makes its way right on through the Devil's Lake area, coming right down Highway 19 into your areas. And again, if you have not taken your tornado precautions already, you should have taken your tornado precautions. Lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. Strongest rotation right here, just to the west of Devil's Lake. And again, we're looking at the Grand Forks radar. The greens going towards the radar, the reds going away. So it's in this area, just to the west, right on top of Devil's Lake practically, making its way off toward the east at 45 miles per hour. We're going to zoom right in on that, show you what I'm talking about. It's this area right in here. That's where we're concerned about a potential tornado. And again, this storm has produced a tornado earlier near the Harlow area. Also, wind gusts over 100 miles per hour near the Rugby area earlier this evening. And that storm moving off toward the east at 45 miles per hour. As of right now, not a continuation of the tornado warning off toward the east, but Devil's Lake, can't stress it enough, you should already be in your tornado shelters as we speak. The hail core off towards the north, still some very sizable hail. Sweetwater, you're probably getting a lot of hail. Darby, you probably got a lot of hail just a little while ago. Devil's Lake, you're getting the potential tornado right now further down the street towards the Essex area. You may want to be taking your tornado precautions there, as well as this storm moves off towards the east at 45 miles per hour. We've only had the one report of a tornado touchdown back near the Harlow area at around 7:18, but we've also had that report of a wind gust near the Rugby area earlier this evening of 104 miles per hour just to the west of the Rugby area. One other thing I wanted to mention, a lot of lightning coming out of these storms too, and that's another danger with these particular storms. You're not going to want to go outside and take a gander at these storms with a lot of lightning coming down as we go through time. Moving off toward the east, 45 miles per hour, and again, it is right on top of the Devil's Lake area. Essex, just down the street, you're going to want to take your tornado precautions as well. A lot of hail up off towards the north. Sweetwater, you're probably seeing a lot of hail in your area right there. That area right in between Devil's Lake and Sweetwater, probably seeing the biggest of that hail, and that could be up to the size of ping pong balls. And the rotation again right over the Devil's Lake area. I'm going to zoom in on that once again. Here's where we're talking about. There it is. The greens going towards the radar down there, Grand Forks. The reds going away. Rotation going right through the Devil's Lake area. It looks a little bit broader than it did earlier. Not as tight as a rotation, but we could still see a potential tornado into this area. So you want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. If you live in the Essex area, you're going to want to do the same. Take your tornado precautions as soon as possible as this storm continues to move off towards the east. Another dangerous storm up in the Northern Valley. Justin, what's the latest on that storm making its way up through the Northern Valley?
Yeah, and thank you, Robert. We do have another update from this storm. Again, a very large area. It is now crossing the Red River into Minnesota, hitting the Drayton area right now with wind gusts reported around 70 miles per hour. And it is weakening just a little. I mean, say just a little. They've moved it down from 90 mile per hour winds possible to 80 mile per hour winds possible. Still a very dangerous situation. Also, hail of 1.5 inches. This is a severe thunderstorm warning issued until 9 p.m. for western Marshall, north central Polk, southern Kitson, southwestern Roseau, northeastern Walsh, and southeastern Pembina County, again until 9 p.m. It is moving off to the east at 40 miles per hour, and again we are seeing wind gusts of 80 miles per hour possible with hail of 1.5 inches. I am going to zoom out so I can put a track on this for you, and we will see. We will see how where it is going to 40 miles per hour. If you're in the Drayton area right now, or if you're just off to the east of Grafton, definitely you should be in your shelter right now because of the really strong winds and possibly the hail that is coming from this storm. But as we go forward in time, in about 10 minutes in the Kennedy, Minnesota area, Stephen, Carlstad, Newfolden, if it holds together, in about 1 hour. Now also I want to keep an eye on that other severe thunderstorm warning. This is until 8:15, so we're going to wait and see what the National Weather Service does, but there is a very large hail core that is in the city of Carrington and points off to the south. 2.5-inch hail is possible with this one. As you can see, the yellows on our map indicate hail to 1 inch, and when we're getting into 2.5 inches, that's where you're seeing the red. Now this is a little delayed, so the largest hail should be, as of right now, off to the south and to the east of the Carrington area. The Carrington area should have gotten hit with some pretty sizable hail. If you do have photos, log on to our Valley News Live Facebook page or go to our website, click on the photo gallery. You can upload them. We'd love to see what you are seeing in the Carrington area with that hailstorm that has moved through. But, you know, we are still waiting for that warning to be issued. It's almost 8:15. A severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for portions of western Foster and northwestern Stutsman County. That's for that hail that is making its way through. I want to put a track on this for you. Still moving off to the east at 25 miles per hour. And as you can see, the very heavy rain and the lightning has overspread all of Foster County. So here is that track of where you could see the largest hail from this one, moving off again to the east at 25 miles per hour into Kensal, Grace City, and Wimbledon as we go through the next hour. And it looks like was that the new warning? Yep. All right, so let's read that to you. The new warning is in effect until severe thunderstorm warning is until, that's the old one, until 9:15 now it looks like for portions of Foster County. My apologies, my computer is actually going pretty slow right now. So there we go. Foster until 9:15. We're trying to read this live on. There we go. Severe thunderstorm warning for Foster County until 9:15. This is for the eastern portion of Foster County. Severe thunderstorm located near Borgelac or near Carrington, moving east at 25 miles per hour. Tennis ball sized hail possible with this one, and 60 mile per hour wind gusts. It will be near Borgelac and Greenfield. Borgelac around 8:20 and Greenfield around 9:05. And that's a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's send it back to Robert.
Yeah, we get a brand new tornado warning that we're going to take a look at here. And that's for the storm that we've been watching for quite some time now. It's made its way through the Devil's Lake area. And that's a radar-indicated tornado, not confirmed on the ground at this point, but this is the same storm that has made its way through Benson County, now into Ramsey County. This particular warning is in effect until, let's take a look at that. This warning is in effect until 9 p.m. for northwestern Nelson, southeastern Ramsey, southwestern Walsh counties. And again, radar indicated also ping pong ball sized hail possible with this storm. It has made its way through the Devil's Lake area. You probably saw some very strong winds and potentially some sizable hail, although the largest hail core looks like it stayed just to the north of the Devil's Lake area. This storm continues to make its way off towards the east, at around 40 miles per hour, 35 miles per hour. They've slowed down the forward rotation on this particular storm. We're going to take a look at the hail core. It was decreasing in size, and let's take a look at it. And it's still sizable hail. Again, hail to the size of ping pong balls possible. And again, you probably saw some sizable hail in Devil's Lake, larger hail just off towards the north. And the hail, this data a little bit delayed, so the hail core is probably a little bit off further towards the east. And another look at the particular storm here. Continues to make its way off towards the east at 35 miles per hour. Again, this tornado warning continues until 9 p.m. If you live in these areas, you'll want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. Basement's best, but otherwise lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. A bathroom, a good idea. The plumbing helps reinforce the walls. If you've got time, they've got pillows and blankets on the way to your storm shelter. Good idea to do that as well. Or if you've got some bike helmets available, a good idea to do that as well. Justin, new information.
We just got a new tornado warning in. This is until 9 p.m. for southwestern Nelson County and eastern Eddy County here in North Dakota. A tornado is possible along with hail 2 inches in diameter. Again, this is a tornado warning that is in effect for portions of southwestern Nelson County and eastern Eddy County. We are seeing this storm move east at 40 miles per hour. So let's put a track on this one. Here it is graphically on our radar. And let's say east at 40 miles per hour. I'm going to put a track on this one. I want to see where the tornado could be possible. That's not the right radar. Let's move this over and see if we can find another one. Yeah, right. We're not seeing that right now, but I do want to put a track on this one, east at 40 miles per hour. Here it is. All right, so let's go over here again. Another tornado warning issued for Eddy County and Nelson County. If you live in the Tolona area, Pekin, Mackville, before the 9 p.m. hour, and we are tracking this storm right here, right where you see the pink, just to the south of the Hamar area. Looks like it is in portions of rural eastern Eddy County, getting into portions of Nelson County. So we're going to send it back to Robert right now. I just wanted to get that new tornado warning out.
Yeah, looking at the tornado warning again, the continues here for the area just to the east of the Devil's Lake area. That storm has made its way through the Devil's Lake area, points off towards the east. It looks like the hook is trying to intensify once again as it makes its way off towards the east outside of the Devil's Lake area. This tornado warning for northwestern Nelson, southeastern Ramsey, southwestern Walsh counties until 9 o'clock for this particular storm. And it's looking a little bit more worrisome to this meteorologist. We're going to take a look at the rotation inside that storm, and there it is. It matches right up with the notch that we're seeing. And again, we're using the Grand Forks radar, so the green's going towards the radar, the red's going away, where you've got them right next to each other. That's where the potential rotation is as that makes its way off towards the east at 35 miles per hour. And again, that matches up quite nicely with where the notch is, and we're starting to see a hook trying to develop that is sometimes indicative of a potential tornado. The hook looks a little less pronounced on that latest radar scan, but this storm is a powerful storm. We did have at least one touchdown and back off towards the west at 718 near the Harlow area, making its way off towards the east. Have not seen any confirmed reports in addition to that Harlow report, but this storm making its way off towards the east in addition to the threat of a tornado. Some very large hail possible with this storm, some ping pong ball sized hail possible as this storm makes its way off towards the east at 35 miles per hour. So again, we're going to reiterate that the tornado warning continues for this area until 9 o'clock for northwestern Nelson, southeastern Ramsey, southwestern Walsh counties for this storm. A very powerful storm, has the history of producing at least one tornado. Earlier, a brief touchdown back near the Harlow area also had a report of a wind gust of 104 miles per hour back when it was way over near the Rugby area. So this is a long track supercell storm that continues to make its way off toward the east now at 35 miles per hour. I mentioned the hail size, and this is a little bit delayed. We're going to show you that to you. Still a lot of sizable hail with that particular storm, and the rotation inside that storm does not look as impressive, which is good news. But again, the storm has been cycling up and down, so even though we don't have the strong rotation that we did earlier, we still have some rotation in there, and it may be trying to redevelop points further off towards the west. The storms tend to cycle up and down as we go through time. And taking a look at the radar once again, that storm making its way off towards the east at 35 miles per hour. We're going to stop this and put a track on it, show you where to expect this in the next little while. And again, moving off towards the east at 35 miles per hour. That will take it off towards the east. Auroraville, it's just about on top of you, about 5 minutes away from there. You want to take your tornado precautions there, and points off towards the east. Brockett by 8:51 and by 9 o'clock in the Apelco area. This warning only goes until 9 o'clock, so we'll continue to monitor that as we go through time. Again, have not seen any additional reports of a confirmed touchdown other than the one around 7:18 of a brief touchdown near the Harlow area. Haven't seen any hail reports up in this area, but we're getting numerous pictures of hail. I don't know if we could pull up the Facebook page. We got numerous pictures of hail from down near the Carrington area on the other storms in that area. Some very sizable hail, well above the size of quarters down in that area, and that continues to make its way off toward the east. As we take a look at the radar once again, brand new severe thunderstorm warning now for southeastern Stutsman County. That for these storms making their way off towards the northeast. I'm going to get the information on that as it makes its way off towards the northeast. That's for southeastern Stutsman County. That warning until 9:15 tonight. Severe storm located 12 miles southeast of Cleveland. That's 13 miles southwest of the Jamestown area. 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. So we were pointing out these storms a little while ago, trying to intensify, and there you go. But we now have a severe thunderstorm warning with that particular storm. We also have those 2 tornado warnings off towards the north, and a very powerful storm making its way into northwestern Minnesota earlier. This had wind gusts of over 90 miles per hour up in the Pembina County area. The strongest storms right now are the ones making their way through just east of the Devil's Lake area and also down towards Eddy and Nelson counties. A couple of tornado warnings there. We're going to focus in on this one up near the Devil's Lake area, making its way off towards the east. And again, we'll get you the information on that tornado warning. And this continues until 9 o'clock for, actually, we got the update on that. This continues for northwestern Nelson, southeastern Ramsey, and southwestern Walsh counties. This storm located near Crary, which is just east of the Devil's Lake area, moving east at 35 miles per hour, quarter size or even larger sized hail possible with this storm. This is radar indicated rotation. And again, it looks like it's trying to develop that hook once again. It's a very impressive looking storm on radar. You don't want to take this storm lightly. In addition to that threat for a possible tornado, you also have that threat for some very large hail and winds gusting in excess of 60 miles per hour. We'll take a look at the rotation once again. It's not as strong as it was earlier, but still there. And again, it may re-intensify as we go through time. These storms sometimes tend to pulse up, pulse back down in strength. And this one, again, showing that hook right there as it makes its way off towards the east at 35 miles per hour. That's where the potential tornado would be, is right in this area. So if you live in this area, we want to take your tornado precautions, including the Doyen area, in case this does take a little bit of a jog to the south there. You want to take your tornado precautions. It's right over Roarville, just north of the Crary area. In Roarville, Crary, you want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Down the street here towards the Lakota area, you're going to want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Anywhere in that red polygon, take your tornado precautions. Lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. Basement's best, obviously, but everybody does not have a basement. If you live in a mobile home, you're going to want to get to a more substantial shelter than a mobile home, and certainly avoid being in a car in these areas. So if you are at home, take your tornado precautions. Lowest floor of your home, basement is best. Otherwise, the lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. A bathroom, a great idea. The plumbing helps reinforce the walls. And if you've got time to grab pillows and blankets or a bicycle helmet to help protect your head, a good idea to do that as well. This storm continues to move off towards the east at 35 miles per hour. We're going to take another look at the hail core once again. And the data, again, delayed on this, and it's starting to ramp up in size again. Once again, in terms of the hail size. So I think it's going to be larger than quarter size with this particular storm. And then taking a look at the rotation with this particular storm, doesn't look as impressive as it did earlier in the storm, as it's further off towards the west, but still some rotation in that particular storm as it makes its way off towards the east at 35 miles per hour. Justin, anything new?
Nothing new, but we do have a few severe thunderstorm warnings. I want to take a look at this one that is just crossing into Minnesota right now. Went through the Drayton area and the Grafton area. And we got reports of 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Now, this is a severe thunderstorm warning, a huge area, in effect for western Marshall, north central Polk, southern Kitson, southwestern Roseau, northeastern Walsh, and southeastern Pennbennett County. This is until 9 p.m. 80-mile-per-hour winds are possible with this one, and the hail size has increased. We're now looking at 1.5-inch hail possible. I do want to take a look at the hail core right here. The hail core just over the Stephen area right now in Minnesota, and just south of Donaldson and Argyle and the Florian area. And let's take a look at our wind speeds right now. This is what we're really concerned about. As you're approaching the Argyle area, you are, as you can see, where the highest wind threats are, you have a possibility of 80-mile-per-hour winds. I want to put a track on this one. It is still moving off to the east around 40 miles per hour with that severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 9 p.m. And here it is. Here is that track. Over the next hour, here's the cities that will be affected: the England area, Karlstad, Strangquist, and the Newfolden area. Newfolden not in the warning as of right now, but if it does hold together, this is a dangerous storm. As again, 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts and a hail up to 1.5 inches in diameter. Also have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Foster County until 9:15. This one is capable of producing 2.5-inch hail. It did as it moved just south of the Carrington area. And let's take a look at that hail core right now. And the hail core is just off to the south and to the east of Carrington, still showing a good amount of hail. This is yellow into oranges, which is 1 to 2.5-inch hail. It is a little delayed, so you want to look just off to the east of where it is right now. And the good news is the largest hail now over rural areas of portions of Foster County right now, well to the south of Grace City and to the north of the Kensal area. We're not showing any cities in the path of the storm. I do want to put the track on it, just see it is in pretty rural area. It is moving off to the east at 25 miles per hour, so let's put a track on this one. East at 25, Juanita, and if it holds together, Revere at 923. So the good news about this one is, even though it's producing up to 2.5-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds, it is in really rural areas. But still, Foster County in a severe thunderstorm warning. That's until 9:15. Also until 9:15, we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Stutsman County. 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds are possible from this one moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. This one just developed, not as strong as the other storms we are following, but definitely let's take a look at where it could be going northeast at 40 miles per hour. And yeah, the Jamestown area should be next. It should be getting into the Jamestown area within the next 15 minutes. So if you're in Jamestown, prepare for this one. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. And we've put on the screen elsewhere that it looks to be in the next hour. So the Esplanty area next at 8:44, and the Spiritwood area at around 8:55. So again, we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Foster and Stutsman County until 9:15. That Foster County one, pretty dangerous. 2.5-inch hail moving through rural areas. Again, just off to the south of the Grace City area. And we have that severe thunderstorm warning. That's in effect well off between Grafton and Newfolden. That one is until 9 p.m. And if you have any photos of hail, go to valleynewslive.com. We're going to send it right back over to Robert now.
Yeah, we're going to go back to this tornado warning, get an update for you. The tornado warning continues now for portions of northwestern Nelson, southeastern Ramsey, southwestern Walsh County. As of 8:28, just a couple of minutes ago, a confirmed tornado. The public reporting a tornado 5 miles east of the Devil's Lake area. So a confirmed tornado now with this particular storm as it makes its way off towards the east at 40 miles per hour. So if you live in these areas, you'll want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. We're talking about where that notch is. I'm talking about this particular area right here. And again, it's about 5 miles east of the Devil's Lake area. The public reported a tornado on the ground moving off towards the east at 40 miles per hour. Taking a look at the rotation in this particular storm, and it's re-intensified once again. There is some very strong rotation making its way right through this area off towards the east, just north of the Doyen area, making its way east at 40 miles per hour. If you live in these areas, I can't urge you enough to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. If you're in the Lakota area, you're going to want to take your tornado precautions. The Brockett area points off towards the east. We're going to go ahead and track this particular area where we're talking about where we've got the strongest of rotation, and then track that off towards the east at 40 miles per hour. And in these areas, you're going to want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. And again, in these areas off towards these 856 in the Pelto area, 905 the Michigan area, a 915 the Petersburg area, 925 the Niagara area. And that's beyond the time of this particular warning. But if this holds together, those are the areas under the gun with this potential for a tornado. Quite a hook on this storm, a very impressive signature on radar when you get a hook like this. And again, the public, 828, 5 miles east of Devil's Lake, reporting a tornado on the ground with this particular storm moving off towards the east at 40 miles per hour. So into these areas, you're going to want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Some very large hail also a potential with this storm. The hail core a little bit delayed. The hail core right about here now. So very large hail, quarter to $half, maybe even ping pong ball sized hail possible with this particular storm making its way off towards the east. And again, the most dangerous part of the storm just north of the Doyen area, just a couple of miles, maybe a mile or so north of Doyen, moving off toward the east at 40 miles per hour. That is where we have the report of a confirmed tornado. As of 8:28, reports of a tornado on the ground by the public 5 miles east of Devil's Lake, moving off towards the east at 40 miles per hour. And that will continue to make its way off towards the east as we head through the next few minutes. If you live in these areas just north of the Doyen area, south of Brockett, making its way off towards the east, even in the Brockett area, just in case this takes a jog to the north, you want to take your tornado precautions in that area as well. As this storm, a very powerful storm. This has a history of now producing multiple tornadoes as we've gone through time. As we go through the next few minutes, it will continue with the possibility of a tornado. And again, a confirmed tornado as of just a little while ago, just a few minutes ago at 8:28, a confirmed tornado located 12 miles east of the Devil's Lake area now, a confirmed tornado as of 8:28, and that continues to make its way off towards the east at 40 miles per hour. So a quick moving storm. Do not wait until you can see a tornado. Do not wait till you can hear a tornado. Take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Justin, anything new?
Yes, we do have really large-sized hail pictures in Carrington. I've told the control room to get those up when they're ready, and here we go. Thank you, Tina Jans, for this one. It looks like we got hail, what is that, like 2 to 3 inches in diameter? And do we have any other pictures of the hail? I know we had another one that we got approved to use on the air. But yeah, if you're in that area, we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Foster County. The storm that moved through Harrington, 2 to 3 inch hail. I wanted to bring that one up first because this storm right here into portions of Foster County, and there it is. There's a quarter next to that hail. That's about 1.5 inch to 2 inch hail right there. So yeah, that's what we were looking at with that hail core. I just want to bring that hail core back to you, and that's what you get when you get the oranges and reds on the radar. When you see this, that's the kind of hail that you're getting. And that just went through Carrington. The worst of it did go to the south. So the hail core right now, the good news is it's over portions of Foster County that are very rural, just to the south of Gray City. It does not look like the Gray City area is going to be hit by the worst of it. The Kensal area is, it might get hit by some small hail, but it looks like the worst of it will move just between Gray City and Kensal. This is reports of 2 to 3 inch hail from this one. That is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Foster County until 9:15. Also, in addition to the 2 to 3 inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible. I want to put a track on this one just to show you where you will see the worst of this one moving east at 25 miles per hour, and not a lot of cities in the path of it. Just the Binford area around 926, and areas just off to the south. And that's what I've been looking at. Thank you, everybody, for sending us pictures to valleynewslive.com and a Valley News Live Facebook page. Let's also take a look at this warning here in Stutsman County. Let's take a look at the hail core for this one. Severe thunderstorm warning for Stutsman County. Good news about that is we don't have a great hail core, but still 60-mile-per-hour winds are possible. It is moving through the Jamestown area right now, so be prepared for inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds if you do live in the Jamestown area or points off to the south and points off to the west. I do want to put a track on this one just to show you where it's going. Again, in pretty rural areas. Once it leaves Jamestown, it will move just off to the north of Valley City. If you see your city on the screen, definitely take precautions, as this is another severe thunderstorm warning. And lastly, there's a severe thunderstorm warning right now between the Grafton and Newfolden area as we make our way through. Let's see, this one is until 9 p.m. so for the next 23 minutes. And it is moving through the Stephen area right now, and if I'm pronouncing that wrong, somebody in the studio please correct me. The Stephen, Minnesota area, just north of Argyle, south of Nelson Park, and just off to the west of Newfolden, and they've just issued an update on this storm that I do want to read on the air. Yeah, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible. We did see 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this storm as it moved through the Drayton and Grafton area. Also, quarter-sized hail possible with this one. Severe storm will be near the Florian area and the Ungden area around 8:50 p.m. and Old Mill State Park around 9 p.m. And yeah, this one, let's see. Yeah, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts still expected. And we did see wind gusts to around 70 miles per hour as we went through, the Drayton area just north of Grafton. So that is a severe thunderstorm warning. We're going to say they have trimmed it around the Donaldson area, south towards Argyle, and just off to the west of the Newfolden area. So that's what I got for you. I'm going to send it back over to Robert for more information on those tornado warnings.
Yeah, tornado warning continues up in the northern portions of the valley near the Devil's Lake area. The public reported a tornado about 12 miles east of the Devil's Lake area, moving off toward the east at 40 miles per hour. That's for this particular storm right here, just southwest of the Brockett area, moving east at 40 miles per hour. A very powerful storm. We're going to take a look at the rotation within that storm. Rotation looks a little bit broader, it doesn't look as intense, but you could still see a brief spin-ups with this particular cell as it makes its way off towards the east at 40 miles per hour. A very dangerous storm as it makes its way off towards the east. Not only do you have the threat for the tornado in this particular area right here where you've got the hook right there, that notch, that's where the potential rotation is, the potential tornado is moving off towards the east. You've also got the risk for some very large hail off towards the north of that area, and the hail core looks a little weaker and this a little bit delayed. The hail core actually right about in here approaching the Brockett area as we speak. Could see some quarter to $50, maybe even some ping pong ball sized hail as the storm makes its way off towards the east at 35 to 40 miles per hour. More storms developing off toward the west. These are non-severe at this point but intensifying, and this storm again making its way off toward the east at around 40 miles per hour. If you live in these areas, I stress to you, we've got multiple reports of tornadoes with these storms. In addition to that, we've had reports of winds gusting over 100 miles per hour way back near the Rugby area. If you live in these areas, the Brockett area and points off towards the east, even in the Michigan area on the far southeastern sides of this warning, take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. Basement is best. Not everybody has a basement, but lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. A bathroom, a good idea. The plumbing helps reinforce the walls. If you've got time to grab pillows and blankets, a good idea to do that as well to help protect your head. And if you've got bicycle helmets handy, a good idea for that as well. Taking a look at the rotation once again within this storm. And again, this did have a confirmed tornado around 7:28, about 12 miles east of the Devil's Lake area. Rotation not as intense with this particular storm, but this has been cycling up and down. You could still see a spin up at any time with this particular storm as it makes its way off towards the east at 35 to 40 miles per hour. You also have some very sizable hail and a lot of lightning potential with this particular storm. Do not go outside and try and take a look at it. Lightning, one of the most dangerous things about a thunderstorm, so do not be going outside trying to take a look at this thing, as you have a lot of lightning that continues with this particular storm. And Justin, we're going to go ahead and head back on over to you.
All right, thank you, Robert. We have a few severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. I do want to take a look at this storm right here in the portions of Foster County. Now, when I say it's good news that hail is hitting rural areas, we do not want hail to hit the cities. We do not want hail to hit cities like Jamestown and Carrington. That is why I said that. All right, now getting to the hail core on this one. And control room, if you, whenever you can you pull up some of those pictures of what we've seen into portions of Carrington? I want to show you the good news about this hail core is that we've been seeing the reds, and that's closer to 3-inch hail, 2 to 3 inch hail from this one. It looks like we're getting another warning. I will get that on right for you. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for portions of northeastern Stutsman County. Northeast? Okay. Okay. First off, we're going to get this on the air, then we'll go to the hail video from Carrington. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for portions of northeastern Stutsman County until 9:45. Severe thunderstorm located about 22 miles north of Jamestown near Courtenay, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Golf ball sized hail is possible with this one. And let's take a look at the track of that. I said it was moving east at 45 miles per hour. Severe thunderstorm warning, a new one for portions of northeastern Stutsman County, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the track of this one, heading into the Wimbledon area, Hannaford and Cooperstown, and the Pillsbury area if it holds together over the next hour or so. Let's take a look at new video we've got into our newsroom of the hail that went through the Carrington area. If you can pull that one up. While you're doing that, I'm going to take a look at, we're going to show where this storm is right now. Now, the Carrington area didn't get the worst of it. As you can see here, what do these look like? Inch hail.
Justin,
all right, we're going to send it back to Robert.
Can we go ahead and pull up Eric Whitehill's feed? I think it's frozen right now, but Eric, are you on the line? Eric?
I am here.
Eric, what do we got? Is that a tornado we got?
We might have a tornado in progress right in front of me here.
Where are you located?
I am just to the northwest, or just northwest of Pencil. Just northwest of Pencil, 6 miles west of Pencil in Stutsman County. We've got definite areas of rotation that's making contact with the ground right now. Getting up over this hill, if you're able to see it.
We've got your feed. Just tell us where you are, what direction you're looking, and what direction the rotation's moving.
Yeah, and I am getting buffeted by RFD winds right now. This is either strong RFD or I have a tornado in progress right in front of me.
Okay, your feed keeps coming in and out, so keep talking. Tell us what you're seeing out there.
Yeah, I've got an very large area of dust and debris getting picked up right now. Very close to Kensal, winds in excess of 40 to 50 miles an hour right now, probably stronger. And this area is going to pass right in front of me. Very, very close to right in front of me right now. So if you are in Kensal, you got to watch this just in case.
Are you seeing more straight line winds, rotating winds? What are you seeing there?
What I was seeing at first was winds that were spinning and rotating, but I am seeing a lot of dust and a lot of dust getting picked up all the way to the cloud base. The hail core is off to my north and west, but this is either a very, very large downburst right now, or we have a spin up in progress right in front of me.
Are you seeing it just north of Kensal?
Yes, just north of Kensal, right off of Highway 9.
Yeah, if we can take a look at the radar, if we can come back to the radar, I'm going to show you where we're talking about. And Eric is back in this area right here, looking into the backside of the storm. And you do have some rotation in this area, so otherwise some very strong winds in this area, and that's what he's looking at. And potential spin up with that storm. And again, it's a severe thunderstorm warning in this area right now, not a tornado warning in this area. But what you're seeing there are some very strong winds there and a potential tornado. And I keep watching his feed. If we go ahead and pull his feed back up, I can't tell if that might just be a hail core there.
Yeah, directly in front of me is a hail core.
Okay.
Everything that was getting picked up was just to the south, just off to my right.
Okay.
I'm going to have to watch myself here because I do not want to get into this hail.
Okay.
Hail markers are showing in excess of 2 inches.
We're going to have you reposition yourself. When we come back to the radar, we'll check back with you here in a little bit, Eric. If you see anything, get on the horn, let us know. And again, he's looking at this area right in here. He's off towards the west, making its way off towards the east. A lot of hail in this area, too, so he's got to continue to monitor that as he makes his way off towards the east. And there's the Kensal area. Some very powerful storms making their way through there. These severe thunderstorms, but again, you saw what could potentially have been a brief spin up with that particular storm as well right there on the area. Earlier, we were mentioning the wind gusts over 100 miles an hour near the Rugby area. And we're also seeing from the Pierce County Sheriff's Office a report of 3 miles south of Rugby, hail drifts along Highway 3 South. So a tremendous amount of hail coming out of some of these storms. Also an unconfirmed report of a barn being blown down in that area. And with winds gusting over 100 miles per hour, that's certainly a possibility. And that storm continues to make its way off toward the east. That is this storm earlier, a couple hours ago up in the Rugby area, now making its way. It's just south of the Brockett area. That is this tornado warned storm, and it's making its way off toward the east at 35 miles per hour. And as of 8:40, a confirmed tornado near Southam, about 20 miles east of Devil's Lake, moving east at 35 miles per hour. And the public confirmed the tornado. That was as of 8:27, the last report. So that's 20 minutes ago. So we could still see a tornado on the ground with this particular storm. And it may be putting down brief touchdowns. We've had several reports of touchdowns with this storm now as it's made its way off toward the east, and it continues to make its way off toward the east. This warning, it continues for the next little while. It continues until the 9 o'clock hour, so about the next 13 minutes. And if it holds together, we may see an extension of this, another warning off toward the east, or if it weakens, which is the best news that we can hope for, if it weakens, then we could see a severe thunderstorm warning issued for points off toward the east. And looking at the rotation, not as strong, but we're still seeing it into this area in that notch on the radar. When we look at the radial velocities, the green going towards the radar, the red's going away from the radar. That's where you've got the rotation in this particular storm. It is weaker than it has been, but this storm has shown weaknesses before, and then it just re-intensifies, and that's where the strongest part of the storm is. What may be happening is the storms off towards the south are impeding some of the energy trying to get into the storm to keep it going. And we're going to hope that continues to choke off this particular storm, because we want the storm to weaken. We don't want this to continue with a potential tornado as we head through the next little while. But if you live in these areas off towards the east, just southeast of the Brockett area, over towards the Whitman area, you're going to want to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. The Pelto area, lowest floor of your home, basement's best, but otherwise lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. If you've got time to grab pillows and blankets on your way to your storm shelter, a good idea to do that as well. If you've got bike helmets handy, that's an excellent idea to help protect your head, just in case another touchdown happens as the storm moves off towards the east at around 35 miles per hour. And again, to reiterate, not only have we had a couple of confirmed touchdowns with this particular storm, but back towards the Rugby area, this storm produced not only the wind gusts over 100 miles per hour, but also now we're hearing reports of hail drifting on Highway 3 south of the Rugby area, and an unconfirmed report of a barn blown down. So some damaging winds, damaging hail, and a tornado possible with this storm. As it makes its way off towards the east, that warning continues until the top of the hour for this particular storm. Justin, anything new?
Yeah, we just got a picture into our newsroom of some grain bins 10 miles east of Langdon that were damaged by that storm that moved through around 5 p.m. Let's see, we're getting pictures of inch hail as that storm moved through the Jamestown area. And that's basically it for right now. Anything new, if you want to send us some photos, send them to our Valley News Live Facebook page or go to valleynewslive.com. We have a few severe thunderstorm warnings that I want to get to right now. We did have, if you want to rack that video up again of that hail that moved through the Carrington area, and we also have some photos of that one. We do have that storm continuing. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect until 9:15 for Foster County. This is moving through really rural areas. The hail core has substantially weakened. It is moving just to the south of Juanita, now showing hail around 1 inch in diameter. But this storm right here into portions of Foster County, has had a history of, Robert, did you want it? Okay, has had a history of hail almost the size of baseball. Let's take a look at that video as it moved through the Carrington area, if we do have that. Looks like we got a trampoline here, somebody's backyard. This is the system that moved through the Carrington area. The good news is it has weakened substantially, but it is still, thank you Susan Thompson for this one, still moving into portions of eastern Foster County. Severe thunderstorm warning, that's in effect until 9:15. Also, we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Stutsman County until 9:15, a new one for northeastern Stutsman County. And if you live in these areas, you could see hail the size of 1 inch or 60-mile-per-hour winds. And also a new severe thunderstorm warning for Benson, Eddy, and Nelson County. That is until 9:45 p.m. Let's look at some of these storms right now. This is the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Stutsman County. It did move through Jamestown and did produce 1 inch hail. It is moving off to the northeast around 40 miles per hour, northeast at 40 miles per hour. We're putting a track on that to show you the motion of the storms. And some of the strongest storms, let's put a track on this, moving just to the north of the Valley City area, the Spiritwood area, the Sanborn, Daisy, Hannaford, if it holds together. Inch hail, 60 miles per hour winds possible with this one. And also, whoops, sorry about that one. We're going to move into portions of northeastern Stutsman County where you could, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning. That is in effect until 9:45. Golf ball sized hail is still possible with this one, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It is moving off to the east at 45 miles per hour. I do want to put a track on this one. We haven't tracked this one yet. This again is until 9:45, portions of northeastern Stutsman County. East at 45, so we're going to draw that line for you right now. If you're in the Laverne, Pillsbury, Hope, Page, Hannaford area over the next hour, and we do have, let's see, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. This one is in effect, let's get this one on the screen for you. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 9:45. That's southeastern Benson County, southern Nelson, northeastern Eddy County until 9:45 p.m. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and ping-pong ball-sized hail is possible with this storm. It is moving off to the east at 55 miles per hour. I do want to put a loop on this one, then we will track it east at 55 miles per hour. Moving just to the north of the Mackville area right now. Let's see, the worst of the storm is, let's see, east at 45 miles per hour. If it does hold together over the next hour, we'll get into portions of western and Grand Forks County, including Larimore, Gilby, Mackinac, and the Kelly area. And I also wanted to keep an eye on that storm that moved through the Northern Valley. We had a really high wind gust with this one, up to 70 miles per hour. This is the one that damaged those grain bins as it moved through the Langdon area. That was during the 5 p.m. hour. It moved just off to the east of Grafton into the Drayton area, 70-mile-per-hour wind gust reported with this one. Let's show you where this one is, a severe thunderstorm warning. This is in effect as we make our way through Marshall County. Let's see, until 9 p.m. I want to, the main threat with this one is the wind gust out there. Still could see wind gusts to 70 miles per hour. The best chance of seeing the wind gust moving through the Florian area right now, but if you're just south and east of Florian, if you're east of the New Fulton area, definitely take precautions. This storm is making its way through. That is moving off to the east around 40 miles per hour. Let's put a track on this one. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning for another 5 minutes until 9 p.m. And then we'll see what the National Weather Service does after this one. But definitely New Fulton is next as the system makes its way through. Let's see what other communities are in the path. We got the Stanquist area and the Huntley area in Minnesota. So those are the severe thunderstorm warnings. We do now have 2 active tornado warnings, and we want to send it back to Robert to take a look at those.
Yeah, what's left of the one little warning down here in the Eddy County area, that getting set to expire at 9, as is this one off towards the north. waiting to see if we get a reissuance of a tornado warning, or maybe they replace it with a severe thunderstorm warning, or the best news of all, if there's no warning required at all. But still a concerning looking storm with this rotation. It's looking less impressive over time, but still a bit of a hook with that storm, and it's making its way off toward the east. We've had several reports, a couple reports of brief touchdowns with this storm as it's made its way through the area and off towards the west, towards the Rugby area. A wind gust over 100 miles per hour, as well as hail drifting on the road in that particular area. We got some strong storms, severe storms across much of the region. The storm that Eric Whitehill is on down near the Kensal area, he is now reporting trees down west of the Kensal area. 1 to 2 foot diameter trees, at least 6 trees down west of the Kensal area. So some damaging winds with that particular storm, and he is down into this area west of the Kensal area as that storm made its way off towards the east. Some very powerful winds on the backside of that particular storm. It may have been a brief tornado. He says he may have seen a brief spin up with that particular storm, and we were showing you that live on the air just a few minutes ago. So a couple of tornado warnings. They expire at 9 o'clock coming up. The one in Eddy County, well, that storm has moved well out of that warning area, and the other one up off toward the north. This also continues until 9 o'clock, and we're waiting to see if there's any extension for that particular storm. Otherwise, it will expire at 9 o'clock, and we're taking a look at that right now. And it's been quite some time since we've seen any confirmations of any tornadoes with this particular storm. It is looking much less impressive than it did earlier. I mentioned earlier, I think what's happening is the activity to the south is robbing it of some of its energy. So it's beginning to weaken as it goes through the eastern portions of the warning area, and it will continue to weaken the way it looks right now. I have not seen any confirmation on what they're going to do with that particular storm. We'll continue to monitor it. If we do have the expiration of both tornado warnings, we're going to be returning it to regular programming and bringing it on over to the Fargo CW at 9 o'clock. But until then, we're going to continue to monitor this. Tornado warning continues in this area until 9 o'clock for the eastern portions of this warning. If you live in this area, you want to take your tornado precautions. Again, have not seen any confirmations of tornadoes in the last little while, but we have had 2 confirmed touchdowns with this particular storm, and that's the Whitman area here in the next few minutes. In addition to that, some sizable hail off towards the north, and there's the next loop, and maybe trying to re-intensify once again as we go through time. And we're going to take a look at that hail core once again with that particular storm and the brand new tornado warning. There it is. They have reissued the tornado warning with this particular storm, so we're going to stay with you here for just a few more minutes. And this storm moving off toward the east, I'm going to get the information on that. This is quite a sizable tornado warning as well, and the information on this particular warning. National Weather Service issued a tornado warning for northwestern Grand Forks, northeastern Nelson, southwestern Walsh County. This goes through 9:45. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Whitman, and we just showed that to you. It's right over the Whitman area. That's about 32 miles east of Devil's Lake. It's moving east at 40 miles per hour, and this is a radar-indicated tornado, and that is for this particular storm. And again, right over the Whitman area, moving east, 40 miles per hour, brand new tornado warning. And it'll continue to slide off towards the east at around 40 miles per hour. If you live in Whitman, take your tornado precautions as we speak. Lowest floor of your home. Basement's best. Otherwise, lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. A bathroom, a great idea. The plumbing helps reinforce the walls. If you've got time to grab pillows and blankets on your way into the storm shelter, a good idea to help protect yourself with that. And if you've got bicycle helmets nearby and readily available, grab those on the way in. Helps protect your head as you head on in there. Also, make sure you're wearing some sturdy shoes just in case there is any damage. You need to come back out of your shelter with some damage around the area. So always a good idea to wear shoes into your tornado shelter as well. That storm, again, making its way off towards the east at 40 miles per hour. We're going to reiterate that warning once again. That warning continues until 9:45. A brand new tornado warning for this area, for this particular storm, till 9:45. Northwestern Grand Forks, northeastern Nelson, southwestern Walsh County. And I'm going to zoom out just a bit so you can see the entire warning. It's a sizable warning. And we've had multiple reports of tornado touchdowns with this particular storm as we've gone through the past couple of hours, and that continues to make its way off toward the east. In addition, this is the same storm that produced 104-mile-per-hour wind gusts just west of the Rugby area earlier this evening, as well as some drifting hail south of the Rugby area, making its way off toward the east, 40 miles per hour, and we'll continue to monitor things as we head through the evening. Justin, anything new?
Let's see. We're waiting to see. Okay, we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning. Let's go over this one. This is in effect for portions of Barnes, Cass, Griggs, and Steele County. That is in effect until 10 p.m. right now, and it's just coming in. Let's read this live on the air for you. And it is, let's see, severe thunderstorm warning for, let's see, northwestern Cass, Griggs, Barnes, and western Steele County. Severe thunderstorms. Located near, let's see, Binford to Spiritwood, and it's producing quarter-size hail possible, wind gusts to 50 miles per hour. Do we want to go to Eric now, or do we want to continue covering this warning? Okay, let's.
Eric, can you hear us?
Yep.
I can.
Can you speak up just a little bit? What are you seeing out there? Where are you located?
Right now, I'm about 5 miles west of Courtney on North Dakota 9, a.k.a. North 20, watching a very large hail core just off to my east, right out by the windmill farm, if you know the area. And got a beautiful rainbow. I'm not seeing any signs of damage the last 2 miles, which is a good thing. But up and west of Pennsylvania, I did see there was a number of trees that were down in shelter belts. All of them were facing from west to east, so that makes me think we had some fairly significant straight line winds in that area. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot. And we're going to show a broad look at the warnings that we've got out there. We've got a new warning up in the northern portions of the valley. Justin was also querying that. We're going to take a look at the information on that particular warning there. A brand new warning up in northern Minnesota, severe thunderstorm warning until 10 o'clock. That's for eastern Marshall, south central Roseau counties. That's for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. The good news is that storm much weaker than it was earlier up in northeastern portions of North Dakota. We had wind gusts over 90 miles per hour, measured 90-per-hour wind gusts up in Pembina County earlier. So the storm is weaker, however, still a powerful storm as it makes its way off towards the east and at 35 miles per hour. So the good news is it's weaker, however, it's still a powerful storm as it makes its way off toward the east. Tornado warning continues in this area. That includes parts of Grand Forks County. We'll get you the information on that one. Northwestern Grand Forks, northeastern Nelson, southwestern Walsh counties. This tornado warning, that continues until 9:45 as that storm makes its way off towards the east at 40 miles per hour. In addition to the threat of a tornado, quarter-sized hail also possible with that storm, and more numerous storms off towards the south. Multiple severe thunderstorm warnings off towards the south, one tornado warning. And I wanted to mention also the severe thunderstorm watch that was in effect for northeastern portions of North Dakota. That continues, however, that's now been extended into northwestern parts of Minnesota as well. This severe thunderstorm watch goes until midnight tonight. So in these areas, especially east of this line out towards the west, you're pretty much clear in that area. Off towards the east in those counties highlighted in yellow, that's where you still got the risk for some severe storm. We're seeing a lot of it out there. There's a lot of heat out there today, so still a lot of energy for these storms to feed on. And the sun setting here at about the next 15 minutes or so. Still a lot of energy, a lot of heat for these storms to feed on. I'm going to zoom back in on the one tornado warning that we do have. That continues to make its way off towards the east at 40 miles per hour. That is this particular storm right here. If you live in these areas, take your tornado precautions as soon as possible. Lowest floor of your home. Basement is best. If not, lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. Grab some pillows and blankets on the way into your storm shelter as well. Make sure you're wearing shoes too, just in case there is any damage. You need to come back out. Don't want to step on any debris in terms of nails or any wood. Rotation wise, does not look anywhere near as impressive as earlier. In fact, it's very anomalous in terms of rotation on that storm. It is much weaker than it was earlier, but there it is. I think some of the energy is getting taken from some of these storms to the south. You've got increasing storms off towards the south as well. A lot of lightning with these storms. Do not try and go outside and take a look at these. There's a lot of lightning coming out of these storms, and lightning, one of the biggest threats with the storms. The lightning, once again, a lot of that with the tornado warning storm. Down here in the severe thunderstorm warning, a lot of lightning with all these storms. So continue to monitor the things from inside your home. Stay away from those windows as well, with some sizable hail coming out of some of these storms as we've gone through the evening. And to put this into motion, storm is not nearly as impressive as it was earlier, and I think Justin, get one last update, and then we're going to hand it over to Christine to get some news out for the folks listening on the CW.
Okay, and I just want to go over our new warning that just came out. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for northwestern Cass, Griggs, Barnes, and western Steele County. That is until 10 p.m. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing 1-inch hail and 50-mile-per-hour winds moving east at 55 miles per hour. I do want to put a track on this one. Let's take a look at the motion. East at 55 miles per hour. And this severe thunderstorm warning effect until 10 p.m. Let's see, east at, well, that's wrong. Let's query that one again. East at 35 miles per hour. So if you live in the Findlay area around 919, Hope, Page, Mayville, definitely take shelter. We have a severe thunderstorm that is going your way. Also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for southeast Benson, southern Nelson, and northeastern Eddy County until 9:45 p.m. 1.5-inch hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds possible with this one. And of course, we have that severe thunderstorm warning up in East Marshall and South Central Roseau County until 10 p.m. 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail. We're going to send it back to Robert.
Yeah, just wanted to reiterate one last time. Numerous warnings out there. The tornado warning storm making its way into northwestern Grand Forks County. That is, it's showing some considerable signs of weakening as it does so. However, the warning does continue on that. So I wanted to mention that real quick. Numerous severe thunderstorm warnings out there. This tornado warning storm, it is weaker, but it could pulse right back up. But for now, with the warnings out there, we've got another new severe thunderstorm warning off towards the south, or an update on that. Numerous warnings out there. Severe thunderstorm watch continues for much of the region through midnight. I want to show you that again. And that's the counties highlighted in yellow. That until midnight, especially in those areas east of this line off towards the west. I think you're in the clear of it. Those counties in the yellow. Severe thunderstorm watch until midnight. The one tornado warning of the storm's weakening as we've gone through time. And I think we'll continue to update things as warranted through the show. If we hear anything new from Eric Whitehill, we'll pass that along. If we're hearing any new tornado reports, we'll certainly let you know that as well. Until then, let's return it back to, actually, we're not going to return it back to Justin. We're going to head it on over to Christine, who I'm sure is ready to talk to you folks about some news on the CW.
This has been a Valley News Live Storm Team Weather Alert.
And we do have 3 active severe thunderstorm warnings right now. We have one in East Marshall and South Central Roseau County until 10 p.m. And we have one down here just off to the east of the Jamestown area. That one's in effect northeastern Stutsman County until 9:45. We're tracking this one right here. This one looks the most dangerous. Northwestern Cass, Griggs, Barnes, western Steele County, a severe thunderstorm warning until 10 p.m. Our instruments right now, if we want to look at this hail core, this is like 2 to 3 inch hail possible. This is between the Hannaford area and the Daisy area. So if you live between Hannaford or Daisy, if you live between them, if you live in the two communities, definitely be prepared for extremely large hail. We got reports from Cavalier County, the worst 10 to 15 miles east of the Langdon area. We have reports of buildings down, roofs blown off, and we have a picture of grain bins also south of the Carrington area. We got close to baseball-sized hail, so that's the damage that we have so far. We'll definitely keep you updated as we go through this evening with Robert Hahn and Eric Whitehill, and stay tuned for Valley News Live 10 at 10 and beyond if we need to.
Absolutely. Again, we are continuing to cover these storms for you, and if you guys have any questions, pictures, be sure to follow us on Facebook and send us what you guys have. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. We'll be continuing our coverage. We'll see you over at Valley News Live 10 at 10.
This is a Valley News Live Storm Team Weather Alert.
Good evening. This will be a quick weather update. A tornado warning has been issued for southeastern Griggs County, north central Barnes County, and southwestern Steele County for a potential tornado and golf ball sized hail as this makes its way off towards the east at around 30 to 35, actually 55 miles per hour, a very quick moving storm. If we can take a look at tower cam, we can see this storm from our tower cam looking off towards the west, and there it is, a significant lowering. Can I get popped up in front of the tower cam by chance? a significant lowering with this particular storm. And Eric Whitehill is on this storm, and he said this is very low to the ground. We're trying to get his feed back up. Do we have Eric Whitehill's feed? And Eric, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Robert.
What are you seeing right now?
I'm seeing, at times, this looks like, this is a wall cloud. We've got the classic RFC cut. This is rotating very, very close to the ground right now. I am watching this to see if it is in contact with the ground, but it's very, very close right now. It looks like a funnel right now at this time. Looks like we might have a funnel or a possible tornado in progress. We're very close to. We've had some very, very good funnel-like appendages on this.
All right, tell us exactly where you're at, what direction you're looking.
I am looking off to my north and east. I am just southwest of Leal by about 1 mile. I'm just northwest of Rogers by about 10 miles right now.
Okay, have you seen any touchdowns with this particular cell?
No confirmed touchdowns right now. Nothing that I can tell was distinctively on the ground. I didn't see any debris swirl or anything like that, but this is a very low-to-the-ground wall cloud. This is much different than what we had seen before earlier this week, where it was fairly high base. This is definitely surface base. It's very, very close to the ground right now.
Can you tell if it's rotating or not?
Yes, this is definitely rotating.
Is that a funnel forming at the very bottom there?
We might have a funnel forming. I'm trying to zoom in on it. That looks like a funnel to me. I am fairly far away from it. I am several miles away, so it's very hard to tell. The sun is setting, but that is a very this storm is tornado warned, isn't it?
It is. We have a brand new tornado warning on it.
Yeah, so this would be the action area. This is the area that we'd be concerned about.
Is the rotation increasing? Has it maintained? What's it doing out there?
Rotation has been maintaining. Rotation is maintaining right now. Rotation is not getting stronger. It's not getting weaker. I do have some fairly good inflow winds from the south, which is what's going to feed these storms. It's what's going to feed it. What fed the storms to the north, and it's feeding this one here now. That's just south of Cooperstown, very close to Daisy.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Let's go back to the radar real quick. And this is the storm that they were talking about. Eric Whitehill is down off towards the northeast. I'm sorry. Repeat that again. Go ahead. Let me see the picture. Can I get in front of that picture? I'd like to see the picture that this is the parent tornado. This is similar to what we're looking at from our tower cam. You know where the location of this particular picture is?
North of Valley City.
This is north of the Valley City area. Okay, and if we can go ahead and go to tower cam and see what we're seeing on the tower cam, and we've got a very similar picture there. Looks a little less impressive on there, which is good news. That's some good news. We had it look like very low to the ground just a little bit ago, so it looks like things have at least improved for the short term. Let's go ahead and take a look at the radar real quick. And once again, we're going to reiterate the warning for you and then return it to regular programming. But right now, again, the tornado warning continues until 10:15 p.m. And that for folks in southeastern Griggs, north central Barnes, and southwestern Steele County for this particular storm. And we've seen some very strong rotation with this particular storm. We've got a very low lowering with it with Eric Whitehill's feed. And taking a look at the rotation inside that storm, there's some strong rotation in that area, and it'll continue to make its way off towards the east at 55 miles per hour. So again, tornado warning continues for this area. And again, this is in the southeastern Griggs, north central Barnes County, southwestern Steele County. This storm moving to the east at 55 miles per hour. Take your tornado precautions as soon as possible into these areas. Lou Verne is going to be in your area in about 20-30 minutes or so. Lowest floor of your home, basement is best. Otherwise, lowest floor of your home, interior room or closet. Bathroom, a good idea because the plumbing helps reinforce the walls. And grab some pillows and blankets on the way into your storm shelter. We will continue to monitor this and update you as necessary. No tornado on the ground at this time. If that happens, we will come back in and update you as needed. So until then, this tornado warning continues, and let's return it to regular programming.
This has been a Valley News Live Storm Team Weather Alert.
Robert? Yeah, we've got some numerous strong storms out there. The good news is, I want to show you the Northern Valley first. All the warnings up in the Northern Valley, those have either been expired or canceled, including the storm that earlier caused the damage out over towards Cavalier and Pemmican counties. So that storm has weakened. However, we still have a couple of very strong storms making their way through southeastern portions of North Dakota, including that storm in Stutsman County with reports of golf to tennis ball sized hail. Now, earlier this evening, if we can go ahead and pull up the radar here, let's see this particular storm south of Findlay. Earlier, if we can pull up the video that we shot earlier from our tower cam when this storm was in southern Griggs County, a possible tornado was making its way through Griggs County. There have been a couple of reports of a brief touchdown in that area. So this was the storm as it made its way through southern Griggs County earlier. The tornado warning on that, however, the storm has significantly weakened. If we can go back to radar, that storm has weakened, and the tornado warning with that particular storm has been canceled. If we can go ahead and go back to the radar. However, they have just issued a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for that storm. So the tornado warning canceled, a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for that storm. This storm is the strongest storm, and again, making its way through just out of the Stutsman County area. There were reports of some golf and tennis ball sized hail, and now this storm making its way through southwestern Ransom, southern Barnes County for the possibility of some golf to tennis ball sized hail. There's also some rotation on the backside of this storm, so we're continuing to monitor that storm. And real quickly, we'll get you the information on the brand new severe thunderstorm warning that includes northwestern Cass County, as well as southwestern Trail, northeastern Barnes, and southern Steele County. That goes through 11 o'clock for the possibility of some quarter-size hail. That moving to the southeast at around 35 miles per hour. If these hold together, they're going to move right on through the Cass County area, including here in the Fargo-Moorhead area. So we'll continue to monitor these storms as we head through the show. Until then, let's head it back to you guys at the desk.
All right, Robert.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with no wait weather.
Yeah, strong and severe thunderstorms continue across the area. The good news is across the northern valley, these storms have weakened. A lot of rain falling, however, across the northern valley all the way from just east of the river through Roseau over towards the Lake of the Woods area, Badette, and eventually making its way down towards the Bemidji area, and Grand Forks still seeing a few showers and some thunderstorms. The strongest storms, though, these two storms right here making their way off toward the east at times, still showing signs of a rotation as they make their way off towards the east. We'll take a look at those two storms there. Both of those severe thunderstorm warnings making their way off towards the east and southeast. This storm moving east at 35 miles per hour, this particular storm. And this is a severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern Cass, southwestern Trail, northeastern Barnes, and southern Steele County. This warning goes through 11 o'clock tonight, and this is the storm that briefly had a spin up of a tornado back in Griggs County just a little while ago, and continuing to make its way off towards the east at around 35 miles per hour. The other warning, I'm going to get that centered in on your screen here, and this particular warning, this is a bigger storm than the other one. The other one has a quarter-size hail possible with that storm and 60-mile-per-hour winds. This storm, some very sizable hail, some golf ball to potentially tennis ball-sized hail possible with this particular storm as it makes its way south of the Valley City area. This warning includes northwestern Ransom and southeastern Barnes County. This in effect until 10:45 p.m. In addition to that threat for some hail, some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts also possible with that particular storm as it makes its way off towards the east at around 25 miles per hour. We're going to show you the hail core on that particular storm. And the hail data a little bit delayed, so this is going to be a little bit further towards the east. The hail core right around there, and again, some sizable hail with that storm. Also some sizable hail, but not quite as large for the storm off towards the north. And we'll continue to see these storms sliding off towards the east and southeast. I'm going to zoom it out just a bit and show you the entire region, and still have a severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect for parts of the region. The western counties have been trimmed off, but a severe thunderstorm watch continues for the counties highlighted in yellow. These counties will probably be cleared soon, but it's these areas off towards the south and even up in here, still a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for parts of northwest Minnesota. But Cass County, hey, we're still in that severe thunderstorm watch, and we've got some severe thunderstorms right on our doorstep. If you're looking off towards the west, you can notice it. I'm going to turn on the lightning and then put this on a loop, and just a tremendous amount of lightning coming out of these storms off towards the west of the Fargo-Moorhead area, just south of Grand Forks, even a little storm just to the northwest of Grand Forks, and a lot of lightning at times up in northern portions of Minnesota. So again, those severe thunderstorm warnings up in this area. The only two warnings are these two warnings that we have off towards the south, and those will continue until 10:45 for the northern storm, or the southern storm, and 11 o'clock for the other storm. And again, at times these are showing some rotation as they make their way off towards the east at around 25 to 30 miles per hour. We'll continue to monitor these storms as we head through the rest of the show. How's the rest of the weekend forecast? I'm going to show that to you at the end of the show. But right now, we're going to continue to focus on these storms the rest of the weekend. Thankfully, looking a little bit quieter. However, we might have one more severe round to go through as we head through the wee hours of tomorrow morning on your Saturday. So we'll detail that coming up in just a few minutes. We'll continue to monitor these storms making their way off towards the east and southeast. The trend has been for these storms to slowly weaken over time, and we'll hope that trend continues. We'll send it back to you guys at the desk.
All right, thanks.
All right, thanks for staying with us. Still some strong and sometimes severe thunderstorms across the region. The good news is across the Northern Valley, a lot of those storms have weakened, but still some strong storms in that area, a lot of rain and a lot of lightning. We're going to show you that lightning and put that into motion. Quite a bit of lightning out there, including some here in the Fargo-Moorhead area. Going to turn the lightning back off and get a closer look at these warnings here. Now, one warning, the storms have moved out of that warning, so the northern warning is pretty much probably going to be allowed to expire, get canceled here shortly. The southern warning, we'll take a look at that. This continues until it looks like 10:45 p.m. at 10:28, so just a few minutes ago. The severe storm located near Nome, that's 15 miles southeast of Valley City. Moving east at 45 miles per hour, golf ball-sized hail possible with that storm, as well as a 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and we'll put that into motion, and that will likely stay south of the Fargo-Moorhead area, but it's going to be close, so we'll continue to monitor that as we go through time. Now, speaking of going through time, as we head through the rest of the overnight hours, those storms continue to slide off toward the east. Some could be strong, perhaps severe, and then finally getting on out of here in the wee hours of the morning. Could be another round of storms up near the Devil's Lake Basin by tomorrow morning, but models have pushed the storms well off towards the west and north compared to what they looked like earlier in the day, but we'll watch those as we head through time. Other than that, quiet as we head through your Saturday. High temperatures in the 70s and 80s. As we head through your Saturday, that chance for some early day thunderstorms. Another chance for some early day storms on Sunday, primarily in the far southern valley. Does not look like those will be particularly strong. Break in the action Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday, models indicating 2 more rounds of severe weather possible on those 2 days. So we'll monitor those once we get some sleep between now and then.
Your voice is not going to get a lot of help this whole week. Yeah.
I'm just glad there's a break over the weekend.
Yeah.
So.
You think there is?
But I think there is, yeah.
I saw your forecast.
Yeah.
Our thanks to those of you who sent pictures to us. Helps us tell the story of what took place tonight. Thanks.
Have a great weekend. Stay safe.
Care.
This is a Valley News Live Storm Team Weather Alert.
Good evening. This will be a quick weather update. A couple of severe thunderstorm warnings to tell you about. We've got one that includes southwestern portions of Cass County, and that's also for southeastern Barnes County. This continues until 11:45 tonight for this particular storm. Golf ball-sized hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds possible. It's getting ready to move out of that warning, so we'll see if the National Weather Service extends that further east in Cass County. And in fact, it just shrunk down just a little bit. So we'll get the latest on that. Now, it's moving east at 50 miles per hour. It's about 21 miles west of Fargo. Moving east at 50. Now 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail are possible. So the winds have come down on this warning. The size of hail has come down. Off towards the north, we've also got another warning north of the Fargo area. This severe thunderstorm warning in effect for northwestern Clay County, southwestern Norman County, northeastern Cass County until 11:45 p.m. And this is for a storm 20 miles to the north-northwest of Fargo, moving east at 40 for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. We're going to put these storms into motion, moving quickly off towards the east. They're going to make their way into the Fargo-Moorhead area here in the next little while. Quite a bit of lightning coming out of these storms as they make their way off towards the east, and we'll continue to see them heading off towards the east, and they could potentially strengthen. They may weaken. We'll continue to monitor them as we head through the next little while. Severe thunderstorm watch does continue for eastern portions of North Dakota and parts of northwest Minnesota for the next little while up until midnight, and there they are. The counties highlighted in yellow. Most of those counties up to our north and west will probably be canceled out of the watch here shortly. But there are the 2 warnings. And again, those in effect both until 11:45 this evening, both for 60-mile-per-hour winds and some quarter-sized hail. We'll continue to monitor these storms as they roll north and west of the Fargo-Moorhead area, and we'll continue to update things as necessary. Until then, let's head it back to regular programming.
This is a Valley News Live Storm Team Weather Alert.
Good evening. This will be a quick weather update. A new severe thunderstorm warning now includes the Fargo-Moorhead area. We'll take a look at that. That storm rolling right down I-94. And the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for western Clay County, southeastern Cass County until 12:15. At 11:15, severe storms located along a line from Amenia to near Leonard, moving east at 40 miles per hour, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and quarter-size hail possible with this storm off towards the north. Also, a severe thunderstorm continues until 11:45 p.m. for northwestern Clay, southwestern Norman, and northeastern Cass counties. At about 11:19, a severe thunderstorm located near Purley. That's about 20 miles north of the Fargo area, moving east at 40. That storm also capable of some wind gusts of 60 miles per hour and some quarter-sized hail. I don't know if we can pull up the tower cam and take a look at that, showing quite a bit of lightning off towards the west here in the Fargo-Moorhead area. And yeah, some pretty good lightning out there. And forgive the red, the beacon at the top of our tower is illuminating there every now and then. But a lot of lightning off towards the west. And as we come back to the radar, you can see as we loop this, a lot of lightning moving into the Fargo-Moorhead area and also to points north of the Fargo-Moorhead area. We'll continue to see this sliding off towards the east. And again, the storm off towards the north moving east at 40 miles per hour. The storm moving into the Fargo-Moorhead area, also moving east at 40 miles per hour. We're going to turn the lightning back off and pause that again. And we're going to take a closer look at this storm. And it's getting very close now to the Fargo-Moorhead area, about to move into West Fargo. Some strong and gusty winds possible with this storm as it makes its way off towards the east. And again, the primary hazards out of this particular storm are going to be some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and hail potentially up to the size of quarters. We'll put that into motion once again, and here it comes right down I-94, making its way on into the region. Going to zoom all the way out, and there are some storms still ongoing up in northern portions of Minnesota, Badette down towards the Bemidji area. Quite a bit of lightning up towards the Badette area and up in Lake of the Woods region, but not any strong or severe thunderstorms in that area. Also quite a bit of lightning over Lakes Country. No severe thunderstorms in that area either. The only severe storms that we have are these two back north of Fargo and west of Fargo, making their way off towards the east at 40 miles per hour. Again, the primary hazards out of these two storms are going to be some 60-mile-per-hour winds and potentially some quarter-sized hail. The northern warning, that in effect until 11:45 p.m. The southern warning, this in effect until 12:15 as it makes its way again right down I-94, right on into the Fargo-Moorhead area, moving off towards the east. It's not as strong as it was earlier this evening. It was still packing quite a punch as it makes its way off towards the east. We will continue to update things as warranted as we head through the rest of the evening. We'll be back on here in a little while. Until then, let's head it back to regular programming.
This has been a Valley News Live Storm Team Weather Alert. This is a Valley News Live Storm Team Weather Alert.
Good evening. This will be a quick weather update. Severe thunderstorm making its way through the Fargo-Moorhead area as we speak. The possibility of some quarter-sized hail and perhaps more telling is the possibility of some 60 to 70 mile per hour winds as it makes its way off towards the east. We have the other warning off towards the north, making its way through the into northeast of the Fargo area. But of more importance, the stronger storm is this storm rolling right down I-94, making its way through West Fargo now and making its way on into the Fargo-Moorhead area. And again, some quarter-sized hail possible with this storm. We're going to look at the hail core, and this is a little bit delayed, the data. It's actually a little bit further east than that. But where the darkest reds are on this particular map, right over West Fargo, moving on into West Fargo, you could see hail, dime-size, quarter-size hail making its way off towards the east. And where you see the storm bowing out a little bit, the backwards C making its way right along the I-29 corridor, making its way on into the Fargo-Moorhead area. That's where you could see the strongest wind gusts. And again, these winds could be damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. In addition to the threat of hail, in addition to the threat of wind, there's a tremendous amount of lightning coming out of these storms. And lightning is continuing to move off towards the east. Lightning, one of the most dangerous parts of a thunderstorm. So a lot of lightning to deal with these storms, both this storm and the storm off towards the north. So something not to take lightly. These storms will continue to move off towards the east at around 40 miles per hour. So these are quick movers. They're going to get in. They're going to get in and out of your neighborhood very quickly as they move off towards the east at around 40 miles per hour. The storm off towards the north, once again, I'll have a quick update on that. That storm for northwestern Clay County, southwestern Norman, northeastern Cass counties. That warning in effect until 11:45 p.m. That for, again, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. And this storm to the south, again, in effect until 12:15 for the possibility of 60 to 70-mile-per-hour winds as it makes its way right on through the Fargo-Moorhead area over the next 30 to 45 minutes. It will pack quite a punch as it does so. And we'll continue to monitor this as we head through the next little while. I'm not hearing any damage reports at this time in the Fargo-Moorhead area. We'll continue to monitor that. If we hear anything new on this, if we get any new warnings, we'll let you know. If we hear of any significant changes in the weather over the next little while, we'll certainly let you know on that as well. Until then, here in the Fargo-Moorhead area, going to reiterate one more time, this severe thunderstorm warning, this continues through 12:15 for potentially some quarter-sized hail and winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. This is a strong to a very strong storm, a severe storm making its way on through the area, and it will continue to pack the punch. There's an update on this storm. I'm going to get that update for you really quickly here. At 11:31, severe thunderstorms located along a line extending from near Prosper to near Kindred, moving east at 40 miles per hour, 60-mile-per-hour winds to 70-mile-per-hour winds, and quarter-sized hail possible with this storm making its way right on down I-94, making its way through the Fargo-Moorhead area. That storm to the north, that is also severe thunderstorm making its way towards the Ada area. That storm, that warning in effect until 11:45 p.m. So once again, severe thunderstorms making their way through Fargo, batten down the hatches. We'll continue to update things as we head through the rest of the evening and into the wee hours of your Saturday morning. Until then, let's return it to regular programming.
This is a Valley News Live Storm Team Weather Alert.
Good evening. This will be a quick weather update. A brand new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for southeastern Norman County, southern Monoman County, northwestern Becker County, southwestern Clearwater County. This warning goes until 1 o'clock this morning for the storm just north of the Detroit Lakes area, about 20 miles north of Detroit Lakes, approaching the intersection of 113 and 59. The storm moving off towards the east at 45 miles per hour. Expect 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. We'll put this into motion. You can see this is a quick-moving storm making its way off towards the east. Some heavy rain well out ahead of it, and then the severe storm rolls on through. And we're going to stop that once again. We're going to show you a closer look at that storm. And again, we're talking about this particular storm right here, just north of the Callaway area. That's where the strongest core of the storm is. And again, the potential hazards with this particular storm, 60-mile-per-hour winds and some quarter-sized hail. There's also been quite a bit of lightning coming out of these storms. We'll turn on the lightning and go ahead and put a loop on that. And a lot of lightning, a tremendous amount of lightning. It looks like nearly continuous lightning coming out of these storms as they make their way off towards the east at 45 miles per hour. So once again, reiterating, severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 1 o'clock this morning. That for southeastern Norman, southern Monoman, northwestern Becker, and southwestern Clearwater County. That in effect until 1 o'clock this morning for the possibility of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and some quarter-sized hail. We will continue to monitor things as we head through the rest of this morning. Until then, let's return it to regular programming.
This has been a Valley News Live Storm Team Weather Alert. For continued coverage, join the Storm Team online or download the Valley News Live Weather app. This is a Valley News Live Storm Team Weather Alert.
Good morning. This will be a quick weather update. A brand new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for southeastern Monoma, northeastern Becker, southwestern Clearwater counties. This until 1:45 this morning. At 12:58, a severe thunderstorm was located very near the White Earth area. It's now just east of the White Earth area. That's about 20 miles north of Detroit Lakes. This storm moving towards the east at 30 miles per hour. The threats out of this particular storm, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. This storm has a history of producing quarter-sized hail. Moving off towards the east, and again, at 30 miles per hour, you can see the strongest part of that storm just to the east of the White Earth area. We're going to zoom on into that area. And there's where the strongest part of the storm is, where you see the purples there and the dark reds. That's where the primary hail core will be with this particular storm, making its way towards the Elbow Lake Village area. And moving off towards the east, that threat for some hail, threat for some damaging winds, and a a tremendous amount of lightning, nearly continuous lightning as this storm continues to make its way off towards the east at 30 miles per hour. There's another storm ahead of it. That is a strong storm. The severe storm is that second storm back near the White Earth area. The other storm between Long Lost Lake and Pine Point, certainly a strong storm with a lot of lightning in it, but the threat for hail back near the just east of the White Earth area, and again approaching the Elbow Lake Village area. It's going to stay south of the Nadawash area as it slides right down just south of the Highway 113 area and slides right off towards the east at about 30 miles per hour. So reiterating once again, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 1:45 for southeastern Mahnomen County, northeastern Becker County, southwestern Clearwater County. That until 1:45 for the threats of a 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. And this storm does have a history of producing quarter-sized hail. So take cover as this storm approaches your area. And again, a lot of lightning out there. Don't head outside to try and take a look at the storm with a lot of lightning coming out of this storm. We will continue to update things as we head through the rest of the morning as necessary. Until then, let's head it back to regular programming. Good morning. This will be a quick weather update. A brand new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for central Hubbard County, as well as northeast Becker County, southeastern Clearwater County. This goes until 2:45 this morning. For this particular storm at 1:39 a.m., severe thunderstorm was located near Bad Medicine Lake. That's about 31 miles southwest of Bemidji. This storm moving east at 30 miles per hour. The threats out of this particular storm, 60-mile-per-hour winds and golf ball-sized hail. The public has reported hail to the size of quarter size with this storm, but the hail size may have increased with this storm. And now the threats again, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and golf ball-sized hail. We'll put this into motion. You can see that storm moving quickly off towards the east, 30 miles per hour right now, just north of the Goldenrod area, and it's going to continue to move off towards the east, just south of the Yola area. Between Yola and Emmaville is where the primary hail core is going to pass, and that will continue to slide off towards the east. In addition to the threat for some damaging wind and hail, a tremendous amount of lightning, just nearly continuous lightning. We can see this lightning, even though the storm is about 70 miles away from Fargo. From our tower cam, we can see nearly continuous lightning with this storm as it continues to move on off away. So a very loud storm, a very bright storm, and a very potent storm with the possibility of 60-mile-per-hour winds and some golf ball-sized hail possible within this particular storm as it makes its way off towards the east, again at about 30 miles per hour. We're going to put a track on this from where the strongest hail core is, and there it is off towards the east. We're going to go about 30 miles per hour. It's going to continue to move off toward the east, approaching the Walker area by 2:39 if it holds together. 2:24, LaPorte, Benedict, 2:29. Cabacona Corner, 2:14. So it's a strong storm. It'll continue to slide off towards the east, again at 30 miles per hour. So again, we're going to reiterate that storm warning once again. Severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for central Hubbard, northeastern Becker, southeastern Clearwater counties. That until 2:45 this morning. At 1:39, a severe storm was located near Bad Medicine Lake, or about 31 miles southwest of Bemidji, moving east at 30. And again, the threats out of this storm, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and golf ball-sized hail, as well as a tremendous amount of lightning. We will continue to update things throughout the morning as necessary. Until then, let's head it back to regular programming.
This has been a Valley News Live Storm Team Weather Alert. Live Storm Team Weather Alert.
Good morning, everybody. I'm meteorologist Justin Fanfrelli. Keeping you updated on the storms that are moving through the area. We have no active warnings out right now, but we do have some storms out there that have had severe thunderstorm warnings on them, and they continue to move through our viewing area. I want to take a look at this storm right now that is just off to the south of Thief River Falls in Red Lake, Polk, and approaching portions of Pennington County. And also we have a storm right now just to the south of Star and just off to the north and to the east of the Oakley area. With these storms, let's put these into motion. They are moving off to the east-northeast pretty quickly, say around 60 miles per hour. So if you live in areas off to the north, say in portions of Beltrami County, or even getting into Marshall County, and then eventually if they hold together Roseau or Lake of the Woods County, you could see brief heavy rain, some lightning, and maybe some wind gusts actually up to 50 miles per hour if they do hold together. These are producing some gusty winds. Also, the same thing back here. We have a storm that is pretty strong moving into the Devil's Lake area right now. This storm has a history of being pretty severe, especially when it was out into the Bismarck area. It's weakened substantially, as you can see. Just some heavy rain with this one and some lightning, and you could see some gusty winds. So say if you live in the Devil's Lake area, you're getting it right now. If you live in Michigan, Langdon, or Cando, or just off to the north of the Grafton area, this thunderstorm is moving pretty quickly. It's moving off to the north and to the east around 70 miles per hour. Again, we have no active severe thunderstorm warnings or no active special weather statements. We're still tracking these 3 areas of thunderstorms right now. They could intensify as we go through the next couple of hours before they move out of our viewing area, and we will definitely be here if they do, and if there's any warnings or any strong thunderstorms. Until then, we're going to send you back to normal programming.
This has been a Valley News. This is a Valley News Live Storm Team Weather Alert.
And good morning again, everybody. Meteorologist Justin Fanfrilli. A new severe thunderstorm warning has popped up and want to get the information right out to you. This severe thunderstorm warning, the storm just moved through the Devil's Lake area, and the warning does encompass a large area right now that includes southeastern Benson, southeastern Towner, northwestern Grand Forks, south central Cavalier, Nelson County, Ramsey County, western Walsh County, and northeastern Eddy County, and it is until 6:30 a.m. Now, the main threat from this one is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, but you could also see hail 3/4 of an inch in diameter or larger. Let's put a track on this one. The warning was issued because of a wind gust close to 60 miles per hour as the storm went through the Devil's Lake area. Good news is Devil's Lake area is almost in the clear from this one. You have some storms off to your south, but the main threat of the wind has looked to move off to the north and to the east. You're just seeing some rain right now, and as you can see, not a lot of lightning with this one, but the main threat again is wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. I want to put a track on this storm right now, and as you can see, still a large area. It's starting to bow out here, so it's as it moves off to the north and to the east, still moving pretty quickly around 55 miles per hour. Here's the communities in the path of the storm: Lakota, Michigan by around 6 o'clock in the morning, Lankin at 6:16, Park River at 6:28, and if it holds together, it will get into the Grafton area at 6:45. Again, severe thunderstorm warning in effect for all of these counties here, from Devil's Lake stretching to just south of Langdon, including the Edmore area, Michigan, and just north of the Mackville area. And Grafton is not in this warning as of yet, but we will see if it holds together. Again, if you're in this area, prepare for 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, and you could also see some hail about the size of just below a nickel, say between penny and nickel sized hail. So we will definitely keep you updated if more of these warnings pop up as we go through the morning. Until then, back to normal programming.
This has been a Valley News Live Storm Team Weather Alert. For continued coverage, join this. This is a Valley News Live Storm Team Weather Alert.
And good morning, everybody. Meteorologist Justin Fanfrilli here, tracking some strong storms still moving through the viewing area. Let's take a look at the maps right now, and we do have a non-severe thunderstorm right now that is approaching the Grand Forks area. The good news about this one is it looks like the lightning has diminished, especially the portion that is going to hit Grand Forks, and the hail has diminished. But if you live in Grand Forks and points off to the north and to the east as you go through the next few hours, you could see gusty winds as these thunderstorms move through, 40 to 50 miles per hour, some gusts up to 60 miles per hour. No active warnings as of right now, and as you can see, we have some lightning activity just south of Grafton and more shower and thunderstorm activity between Greenbush and Roseau, but again, no active warnings, just that non-severe storm approaching Grand Forks. We'll have more updates as we go throughout the day. Now back to normal programming.
This has been a Valley News Live Storm Team Weather Alert.